You're listening to the Mobcast Network.
Welcome to My Star Wars Life, a look at news, reviews, and other happenings from a galaxy far, far away. Here are your hosts, Scotty and JD.
Hello there. Welcome to Obi Wan Days. And that's where the show starts, and they won't know what happened before it. Because there we go.
Is that you doing a little wipe too?
We can wipe
You also
it.
do have to do that. Well,
Yeah, you've got the.
Yeah, you got a bigger mustache than
Yeah,
I don't.
I can't quite.
So I like that. Also, we're all three bearded for Obi Wan
Right.
Days. I'm your Native American pop culture spirit guide, Scotty. I'm joined by our Jedi Master
JD.
and our newly promoted Jedi Knight.
He passed his trials?
He passed his trials.
Where was I? Was I not on the council?
No, he set up everything and moved his stuff over here. I think that's a trial.
I am ready for the trials, Master.
Now I just need to grow the rat tail so you can cut
Cut
it
it
off.
off. We should have done a ceremony.
I'm ready.
That'd have been cute.
You can use the dark saber to cut it off. Now that there's two back there.
We got two, and I want one so bad.
They're expensive, right?
But they are wicked expensive.
Like four?
Four,
It's four
yeah,
something,
four
yeah.
or five.
Four something, yeah.
I mean, it's like, and I could put it on a tab, pick it off over time.
Yeah,
But
right.
I'm already putting stuff on tab right now. Not here, but
yeah, no, but ooh. And Danny said, my
We're
wife.
talking about Gamers and Geeks, a
Yeah.
fine game store here in Mobile, Alabama.
Yeah.
Come check us out.
Danny, can I spend $400 on what? The dark saber? You can do what you want. So no. Right, so no.
Well, no, because she would defeat you in combat and
Right,
steal
then
it.
she'd be the queen of Malistaire.
Yeah.
What?
nobody wants Malistaire
Except Ben Quadraneros.
or Sebulba.
Subola. I want that. Where's
Isn't
our
that
pod
one-
racing show? We ain't got our pod racing show. Like,
I want a pod racing show. I need a new pod racing video game.
I'd take that. I'd take that.
Was Luke pod racing? Because he did this.
Nah, he likes it.
It looked like he was pod racing.
He's a hopper. He's that
The T16?
T16 hopper. Yeah.
We'll get to all of that when we talk
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Obi-Wan.
We got
I'm teasing within the show.
Right, I got you.
We've got a whole weekend's worth of
it
news.
is crazy. So this is
Right.
Yes, this is Obi-Wan Days, the first and I guess second episode of Obi-Wan Days because we're gonna cover two episodes because Disney blessed us with two
early.
early. Yeah, that's fun. I'm so excited. It's but it's also Star Wars Celebration weekend just happened, and we got trailers, we got news, so I want to talk about that. So we'll start with my Star Wars life, and then we'll go into Obi-Wan Days. You can find us on any podcast app. Please rate and subscribe to us. We thoroughly enjoy it and need it. And so if you like the show, please write a review. Say, hey, these guys are awesome. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/MyStarWarsLife. And we're on YouTube at youtube.com/Mobcast Network, where you can find our smiling bearded faces. Hello there. I think I got through all the stuff.
You were right about one thing. The introduction was short.
Yeah.
The whole show he's going to be doing you, and
You
it's
are
going to be
absolutely
great.
right.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I can't do voices, so
I can kind of, but not really.
Do you know how long I've been waiting for these shows? It's been a long time.
Yeah. It's been. Are we including as soon as episode 3 ended, or?
Yeah. Like, dude, I've been wanting more Ewan since
So-
the end of.
So, as a newly minted Jedi
Yeah,
Knight,
you've had a busy weekend.
my whole weekend, I've been at a convention. Usually there's a better format for this, but time just didn't work. So, but Caleb has been gracious and keeping up with celebrations, so I'm going to kind of let you lead where we go on this.
Okay.
Your first mission.
It's funny because there are no Native American spirit guides in Star Wars, but I'm like the Emperor. I've just taken over.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm taking over.
Well,
Good.
There's the one Tuscan.
There's some there's a
There's a
Tuscan
Tuscan
chieftain.
Jedi.
Yeah.
You know,
Hell yeah.
well, technically 2.
Two.
Well, what? Not
Technically
no,
one because the other one, his dad wasn't a Tuscan. He just got adopted in.
Right. Well, who was the one that was in love with Anakin, the younger? that from
I don't know.
She was a Tusken.
Oh, I forgot about that
from
one.
from the Young Jedi Chronicles and all those books.
Oh.
That during the Yuzon Vong era, she goes.
Caleb got excited when
she goes
tappity
almost
tap.
feral. Do you remember? Because when
Yeah.
when things happen to Anakin, and then what's her name, the bird lady that messes with Jason,
Right.
like sort of gets a hold of her a little bit, and she never wears shoes, and she goes crazy, sadistic, feral.
Oh.
But she's a Tusken Jedi.
She's like, Tuscans don't need shoes.
Yeah, that's from the Young Jedi Knight series.
So it's like,
I mean, she was also in the Jedi Academy trilogy.
Oh, okay.
Mainly, like she started, I think, at the Jedi Academy trilogy.
I think because I think it was Jedi Academy trilogy,
And then Young
Young
Jedis,
Jedi Knights
right.
came out afterwards. But that was for an even younger audience,
Right. But Jedi Academy,
which is about his age level I'm reading, so it's good.
all I can think of is Tenel Ka, and that's not her because she was from the consortium.
Ka?
No, Tenel Ka was from the consortium. That ended up being from the Hapes cluster.
She's a Dathomiri.
Yeah, she's from the Hapes cluster.
Mm-hmm.
What is her name?
There's a lot of
Steve.
names, unfortunately.
It was not Steve.
This is one I will have to come back to because I'm looking at the character list, but I'd have to click.
So I mean, I'd almost say spin that, and I could look at it. Like the second I see it, I'm gonna be like, that's her.
Oh, maybe it's this one. Nope, that's from the consortium.
Hold on, I could just be
I'm just gonna Google.
So many that are from the. Yeah, I googled Young Jedi Knights Tusken, and that did not pull up.
Tusken
It pulled up which
Jedi
book.
in love with Anakin.
Oh, Tahiri.
Yes.
Thank you.
I was gonna be
Our
like,
collective Google foo found
yeah,
it.
Tahiri,
Yeah, Tahiri.
because she gets messed up by what's her name, the chicken lady.
Yeah, and then the other.
Baba Yaga?
Yeah.
No.
And then the other.
But yes, now that you mention it, no, but yes, because she was that weird. She was like a fallen Jedi that sided with the Yuzon Vong.
It's the one that also
that tortured
turned-
Jason.
Yeah, I didn't.
It made Jason into
It
Kaden.
opened
I didn't read those books.
Jason to the
I actively-
idea of
Darth
the dark
Caedus,
side.
yeah.
And
I actively was like, Yuzon Vong, F that. I'm done. Out.
Yeah.
see, I was
Vong-
okay Yuzon Vong. It was the damn hive mind Killix that came after
yeah,
that
the
I was
Killix.
like, nope.
Yeah. see, Vong, I'm not a fan of. Killix,
I didn't even know about the Killix. That's how.
The Swarm War is probably worse though.
Was that after the Killix?
Yeah, the Swarm War trilogy. Yeah.
Yeah, I
And then Fate of the Jedi is where things get messy because they're like, let's bring back the Sith, but also let's forget that idea and focus on Aboleth.
Yeah, no, I just remember there were the Empire Knights that like jagged and
Yeah,
all
that's
of
part of
them.
the Legacy comics.
Well, it's all, they're in the
they're
novels
also
too.
started to-
Yeah, but they kind
they
of
really become more heavy
they
in the
got
Legacy comics.
they got introduced in Dark Empire too,
Yeah.
the comic.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
when those because there's Empire Knights that are serving the clone Kid Palpatine
But
and that.
not to the same degree as
No, but that's
as
where the
Jagged's.
but that's where the idea comes from. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, here's something we can use.
Yeah,
Right.
Jagged Fell is more like, I need Jedi, but I don't like Jedi.
Right. So you can have your red sabers, wear some
Well,
red.
actually, they had silver sabers in the comics.
in the
Yeah,
in the
by
books.
Jagged's time, yeah.
they were.
Ro-
They-
or
they were-
Ronan
Yeah,
fell.
they just had the red armor,
'Cause-
but they looked like Imperial
Yeah. They had the red
bodyguards,
armor
but
and
with
all that, yeah.
sabers.
Yeah,
So what do you want to start with in celebration?
I guess we can start.
Otherwise,
with,
we're gonna we're doing your podcast with books.
So I guess we can. Yeah, I'm saving the books for my show.
No, he has a great show too, but it's just like
That's where the books are going to be. That's why I didn't write any of the book stuff here. So I guess we'll start with the first panel that we unfortunately did not get to see, but a lot of news came out of, and they live.
he is surly about this too.
They live tweeted.
They did live tweet it,
Like,
which
if you're gonna live tweet it, just especially because so when we're recording this, they have just done the closing ceremonies.
right.
And during the beginning of the closing ceremonies, they showed a reel of all the fun events, and they even showed stuff from that panel.
They'll probably air the panel this week. Then.
Yeah.
They'll probably give it to you this week.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not the most upset about it, but it seems weird.
I'm with you.
Well, what was it
No,
about?
but real quick,
yeah.
and I'll tell you why I'm upset about it.
Yeah.
It's because not everyone could get a pass inside. So even people who were at the show
Yeah.
there was no viewing rooms or overflow.
I thought there were the 2 viewing rooms. Were they cut off?
They may have not had. I had friends who were like upset that they were either they couldn't get in a viewing room because usually they stream it.
Because I had a friend who got a viewing room ticket.
Cool.
I don't know.
I was just seeing on Twitter.
I don't know.
We're
if
upset.
I don't know because you had to plan that ahead.
Yeah, so they were.
You had to plan all your panels ahead, essentially, from what I understood.
Yeah,
like you had to go to the website and go, "This is the panels I want to go to." And
well, that's also how it was in Chicago. Chicago, you had to list everything you wanted, and I listed everything I wanted in order, and I got in 2 out of everything, but I managed to get in 2, so there was that.
But this panel was basically their big. Here's all the live action stuff that we're working on. More focused on some shows rather than others because other shows had their own panels later in the weekend. So first off, they did Kenobi. They had Ewan and Hayden walk on stage, say hey or hello there.
Hello there.
And kind of be like, hey,
He
we're
is
here
sexy.
this weekend.
I could see like
Yeah.
panty dropping right there, or boxer dropping if
Yeah.
you did this,
Yeah.
or whatever,
Or anything.
Undie dropping.
Whatever undies.
It's very
Undie-
gender neutral.
Undie dropping, yeah. Or pants dropping if you.
That's a crime.
I mean, if
If
you're
the undies are dropping.
right, well, or if you're just going commando.
Yeah. And so we got that, and then we got the Andor trailer,
Yes.
which looked really
And
good.
or what?
And just
I was waiting for somebody to make that
Yeah.
joke.
and they talked about it a little bit. They had Cassian himself walk on stage.
Nope. Diego?
Diego.
Okay.
I was going by his character name because I
Could not remember Diego.
remember Diego.
Also couldn't remember Diego either but
But yeah,
Luna,
Diego walked on
Diego
stage.
Luna.
Diego Luna.
Why are they calling me?
I
have
What
a
are
job.
they go-
I
Diego Luna.
have friends that are gonna give me so much shit for that.
No, they won't. 6 people watch this show.
Well,
But
They're
we'll
all
listen.
6. They're all 6 of his friends.
but
Hi, Caleb's friends.
And Wes and Bubba.
Oh, sorry. Hello there.
and Kisa.
Keisha will watch the show. She watches all the shows.
But yes, Diego walked on stage, talked about how
Hello there,
excited he
Kisa.
was. Talked about how excited he was to be part of it. The showrunner was up there, and they talked about it's going to be 12 episodes,
Nice.
and they've already got all of them done, so the show's ready pretty much, other than editing.
This is
August 31st.
August 31st is the release date.
This is what I like about Andor, right? This is my expectation. Because I think when they first announced it, we all had the same general who asked for an Andor
Yeah,
show.
Yeah.
what?
I bet it's going to be amazing.
Absolutely.
Because we have no expectations.
Right.
There's not
The
a
only
weight
thing-
of...
yeah.
I
The only thing they've told us is that it's going to be basically a biopic of Cassian's
Right,
life.
and we know it's going to be before Rogue One.
right. So, but
'Cause there's
but
no
now
alternative.
but now seeing the trailer, I had no expectations. Now I have wants.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which
I
is
haven't- I haven't-
dangerous
I haven't
because I
watched the
want.
trailer
It was.
yet.
It was
Have you not watched the trailer?
No.
Oh man, you should watch these trailers.
I feel like going into that one cold.
Okay.
So I don't.
I mean,
well, we're about to spoil a bunch of stuff.
Okay. Well,
because Mon Mothma's
That's
in it.
that's how the show works.
Yeah.
Right.
Because Mon Mothma's in it, and
Bad hair day.
and she has a different haircut. Actually.
So here's the thing. From what I understand, both between the Variety article
Yes.
and Friday
Mm.
or Thursday,
Yeah,
Thursday.
Thursday.
God,
Yeah, it was
time-
a Thursday showing.
Thursday showing, that it's not just an Andor show; it's an
It's
Andor Mon Mothma
It's-
show.
yeah,
Right,
it's-
which
it's-
we
it's
talked
a-
about
Right.
It's a early rebellion. show.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's focused on those two characters. So here's my want. I want a intense political thriller with Mon Mothma, and then I want this revolutionary rise
Yeah.
of Andor.
For the Star Wars book readers, I basically want Bloodline, but
yeah,
So if
As
that's
a
the
show.
case,
Right.
then if they don't start it like Law and Order,
right. Dun dun.
I'm gonna lose it.
I mean,
In every rebellion, there are two equally but as
There's-
important
there's-
branches.
there's
There's
a-
the espionage,
Right.
and then there's the politics.
yeah.
and
Both are needed.
the-
These are their stories. Dun, dun.
And as far as Cassian's story, we know we're going to see his childhood, so we're going to get to see late
yeah, we in the trailer.
late Clone Wars.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we see clones.
yeah,
in
we
the
see
trailer.
we see clones in the trailer.
Because one of the things Cassian brings up is that he was raised under the Separatists. He was a Separatist.
yeah.
His family was Separatists.
That was not on the base.
Oh.
I was like,
So I'm actually interested to see what somebody coming from the Separatist side, how they steer towards the rebellion.
we were fooled.
how they steer towards the rebellion, because most of what we know of the rebellion are people that were part of the Republic.
Right, but also one of my favorite things is that deleted scene from 3, where they're forming,
where we see the forming,
and they're like, "Wait a minute, are we becoming separatists?" And you're like, "Yeah, you're totally becoming separatists. This is how this works."
Yeah,
it's like we're not separatists. Like, no, that's what you guys are. This is how this works.
Yeah,
so.
like you have disagreements with the government, and you want to leave.
You are calling the kettle black.
Yeah. The only difference is, well, there is no difference, sir. You're both led by Sith Lords.
Right. Word.
Right. Well, so I think the difference is they
Intentions.
the Separatists were able to separate worlds apart,
Right.
Yeah.
and still function,
Right.
Whereas in a rebellion,
Right.
there's the Empire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna just separate. The hell you are. Star Destroyer, go.
The thing I love most about Bad Batch is the
Rekka?
and Amiga, right? I love the characters, but
the start.
the start of the watching the Empire become the Empire.
Yeah.
The true rise of the Empire.
Oh,
is
yeah.
fascinating to me.
Yeah.
So when there's a scene in the trailer where Mon Mothma's like, they're on to me and all this, I'm like, oh man, I'm in, I'm so in. I want this. I want this craziness.
It's interesting because we got Bad Batch today. So
we'll talk about that too.
We'll jump around a little bit.
We'll talk about the Bad Batch.
So, but yeah, and so it's interesting seeing that both of these shows are coming out this year.
Right. Because I think the release schedule now is
right now
it's Obi Wan, Andor, Bad Batch,
Tales of the Jedi,
which we don't have. We
just know fall.
Fall.
Same thing with Bad
right.
Batch.
Willow in November.
Yep.
Which we will talk about because I have to.
And then basically that's this year.
And, right. And then February Willow gets us to Mando 3, which is in February.
Yep.
And then
Young Jedi Adventures is somewhere there
and
early.
And then Ahsoka is somewhere there as well, somewhere in 20.
And Visions Volume 2 is spring.
Did you see the leaked?
Yeah. He said,
I brought that.
We're gonna talk.
So after Andor, they did a little bit of talk about. Oh no, Andor they followed it up with Mando, and they had the sizzle reel for Mando season 3,
which have not leaked. Right?
There's been some leakage.
I have not seen it.
I have not found a good enough leak to share.
Right, and I'm surprised they haven't posted it.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to post it yesterday when they did the Mando
during the Mando Plus
thing yesterday, but they didn't. So
yeah, and so
hopefully it'll be this week.
And that's when they announced February of next year.
So Mando 3 is heavy on Bo-Katan.
There's a lot of Bo-Katan in the trailer, in the sizzle. I mean, and because it's not really a trailer, it's a sizzle. It's a teaser, I guess, a teaser trailer.
Right. Because
I swear, y'all just throw words.
They're.
I mean, I know they're actual words.
Yeah.
Right. So
it's based on how they cut it.
So
sizzle teaser.
So we got
Ahsoka's the sizzle.
Ahsoka's the sizzle because
they've literally been
shot
shooting for 2
weeks, and then they pulled that together.
Dave showed up just for Thursday, and then was like, and John was messing. And he was like, "Yeah, Dave's got his cowboy hat on again because he's filming."
Right.
In fact, he has to go back right now.
He has to go back on set. He came up here to show this or talk about this and then leave, and then he came back this weekend. So
yeah, he came back for the Mando Plus
nice.
And for Tales of the Jedi because he's
when we get we'll wait till we get there because I have Dave comments too because Dave was kind of a dick and it's hilarious.
I think I know what you're talking about.
We'll talk about it in a little bit.
But
Mando season 3 is heavy Bo-Katan.
Heavy Bo-Katan. In fact, there's like a segment where she's with Grogu and she's like, "Oh, you think your dad's the only Mandalorian?
Come to mama."
And so
everybody wants the baby.
I wanted Grogu to be like,
and
with the one he stole from Luke,
right?
Yeah. And so
Yoda's.
From what we saw in the teaser, it's very heavy. Mando is on the mission to get his redemption to become a Mandalorian again. They're going to Mandalore.
He's taking a bath.
That's their
season 3, the quest to take a bath.
Yeah, and then I guess while we're on Mando topic, they did release on Instagram, I think, that Dave's already working on season. Dave and John are already writing season 4.
Yeah, they're gonna milk this cow as much as they can.
Hey, milk's good.
Blue milk's better.
Curdled milk is not.
That's a whole other story.
That is a whole other story.
Well, if you let it wait long enough, you get cheese.
That's true, and cheese is delicious.
Right. Anyway.
Yeah. But that was basically their live action panel. They kind of saved a lot of it for
later this
separate
later.
panels because Ahsoka was shown at the Mando Plus panel.
But there was two things that happened during this panel that were kind of awesome. That were not three things that were not Star Wars related.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, John Williams comes out, plays the Obi Wan theme he's 90 freaking years old.
Yep.
Comes out, plays the Obi Wan theme live for the first time forever. No one's heard it for the show because he did the theme for the show, which is beautiful. And then after they started playing the Indiana Jones theme,
and then
Harrison Ford just
comes
shows
out
the
on
fuck
stage.
up.
Yeah.
And then they show one thing. He's like, "We're coming next summer."
And
Dun
they
dun dun
show-
dun. And then he leaves.
Yeah, and they show like a little
just
him,
just an image.
an image. Yeah.
Yeah. And so
And before that, we had the Willow trailer.
yeah, right. And then we get the Willow trailer. So real quick about Willow, I love Willow. Willow is a property that I wish had a Star Wars treatment earlier than it has now.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm glad we're getting it.
I'm absolutely ecstatic that we're getting it.
Because I've had multiple conversations about this, and you and I are on the same page of this. But Star Wars Celebration needs to become Lucasfilm Celebration.
Well,
Like eventually,
Well,
once we get more.
So realistically, there are three main properties. So it's Indy, Willow, Star Wars, right?
At the moment.
At the moment, unless they start and if they start creating their own news, yeah, Lucasfilm Celebration.
Which is what I would. I think they were planning to.
Right.
Because the last time we had a major update regarding their projects was during that meeting. The
right. I mean, they could do it. They could pull.
And they mentioned that they had bought the rights to Children of Bones book
Right.
series. Unfortunately, they lost the rights to that since then, which means they can't make a film of it now. So it looks like they want to get into more properties.
Hey, look, they tried to make Strange Magic a thing.
Yeah. Well, that was a George project.
God, I love George. I haven't watched it. I'm going to watch it this week, though.
That was a straight up George project.
George, have you seen it? George did an
It
animated.
was his last film.
Yeah, it was an animated. He EP'd it, right? And it was he co-wrote it or a story.
I think he did the story.
And it's like a fairy tale.
I think he might have even directed.
And you said it was a jukebox.
It's a
You've
jukebox
seen it.
musical.
So what do you think of it?
It's fine. I mean, for what it is. I mean, I wouldn't. It's not the.
Right, we're not hosting a Strange Magic podcast. I get you.
No.
It's no THX 1138.
The spanking robot movie, yeah.
It's no American Graffiti.
Right.
Well, at least that one's better.
Yeah. But okay. So
It's
he
no
only-
Tucker and the
so
Man
he-
of his
he only
dreams.
Did the story treatment
Lucas produced it. It's Coppola and
for which one?
Tucker and the Man of His Dreams.
okay.
That was a big Lucas
Yeah, okay.
project that
Yeah.
he didn't direct. Howard the Duck also was one.
And then he did.
Howard the Duck was his.
Yep. Howard the Duck's his.
And it bombed so bad that he had to sell his computer division.
yeah. Which
became Pixar.
I kind of like Howard the Duck. But
It's fine. It's funny.
it's a fun movie.
Jeffrey
that's
Jones
why.
is problematic because he's a molester.
Yeah, yeah.
But other than that,
hey, we at least still got Chip, who's the voice of Howard. He's great. But yeah.
Anyway,
and then of course
Willow.
he did American Tales and
Right.
our American Tales, the fighter plane movie.
oh yeah, Red Tails, yeah.
Red Tails,
Right,
yeah.
which is good.
He's like, I don't remember Fievel.
No. Sorry, Red Tails. Yeah, his fighter plane.
Fievel and the Tuskegee
Yeah.
Airmen fighting Nazis
Yeah.
and racism
Yeah,
at the
but-
same time.
Yeah, George had to do his fighter plane movie because he likes fighter planes.
There are no racists in America.
I'm coming, Hitler.
If only. But yeah, I think. But yeah, so I've had this conversation.
Somewhere out there.
So are you glad that they showed non-Star Wars things at Star Wars?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay,
I'm-
because that's the argument I was having with some people because they were like, "Why are we focusing on Willow? Why are we focusing on Indiana
because
Jones?"
it's awesome.
And it's like because this is Lucasfilm doesn't have its own thing.
Right.
This is the closest we'll get.
Oh,
The only other chance they could show these things is at D23, and they don't want to wait that long.
or San Diego Comic-Con and do the old school at Hall H. There's that.
But
That's-
they don't want to do that
No,
either.
either no, because that's traditionally where all this was shown was
Because
San Diego
everybody's
Comic-
leaving San Diego Comic Con.
because it's a mess too. Because everyone's leaving San Diego Comic Con because it's like streaming services. Once there's one, they realize we can do it our own.
I mean, it's the same thing as E3 for video games.
Right.
Everybody's leaving E3.
Right. So they're all doing their own thing, and so I get it. But the Willow trailer.
Yes.
Oh my God! It looks. Did you see that?
Yes.
Oh shit! It looks so
It's
good.
been a long time since I've seen the movie, so I'm gonna have to rewatch it.
Yeah, we're gonna do it in the Cult Movie Cantina.
Yeah, so by the way, when you go back to do the quick edit or whatever,
Yeah.
don't be surprised if half the time you switched over to like a different movie, you hear the soundtrack starting to play.
Right.
Because I'm over here Every time Willow said, I'm like,
Willow.
But it looks so good. The cast is great.
The thing
Are you going to talk about what they revealed?
I'm going to absolutely talk about what they reveal. So, great thing about Star Wars coverage is that they have
They
They
don't
do
do a great job of telling actors not to say things.
right, and so they had some actors from the show, and they were like, "So can you tell us a little bit about yourself?" She goes, "Oh yeah, I'm Mad Mardigan's daughter," and they're like, "Oh crap, maybe we shouldn't have said that."
Yeah, that was. I think that was Anthony hosting that
Yeah,
one.
no,
because it wasn't Andy.
It was Andy Goots.
Oh, it was Andy.
It was Andy was doing that one.
Okay.
And so
Anthony got to make fun of Pedro for getting him in trouble with Lego Mando.
the Anthony and Anthony Carbone and Anthony Daniels panel is the best because they have a playful hate for each other, and it's the funniest thing. Anyway, that's sidetrack.
Yeah.
Willow. So we have Mad Mardigan's daughter in it. She's the daughter of Mad Mardigan. It's the
princess.
Redhead,
right?
Yeah, redhead. Yeah. So
And they're raising a Nora or whatever the princess's name.
And so
So this, she straight up just said, "Yep, I'm this character's daughter."
don't know exactly what the story is, but there's some other
Does
new
that make her the princess or a different daughter?
a different daughter.
Okay.
I think she's a different daughter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sadly, Kilmer's not in this because Kilmer has had cancer.
Yeah,
he's not.
And he's. I mean, I know he's in Maverick, but he's barely.
Yeah.
from
Right,
what I
right,
understand in
right.
Maverick.
Just, yeah.
Well, I mean, he's got trach. He can't speak.
Yeah.
There's a whole big thing. And so, however, the guy who's producing, he also produces Solo, but he's producing Willow too.
Which explains the casting.
Yeah, explains because Emphas Ness is in it, who's apparently Disney's darling. She's like,
Yeah, 'cause she's been in
being every. She's
Falcon
a
and Winter
Soldier.
Soldier.
She's been
She
Solo.
needs an animated.
Right, and
well,
she's-
that's why I was saying.
and
she
she's
needs-
cute. I love her. She's
No, yeah, she's great.
freckles
Like,
in the hair.
don't let us saying this as a.
No, she's great.
But I'm pretty sure she's an Eisner secretly somewhere. Like,
She is.
but
a
we
Disney.
love her. She
We love
is
her.
a
Well,
great talent.
Well, Disney likes to keep a lot of their actors in house, and they like to do get them into one of everything.
I noticed that. Nanjiani. Kumail. Because I always butcher his name. It's Nanjiani.
Yeah,
Yeah.
come on, Gianni.
Well, and then they've done the same thing with so many actors.
Yeah.
But so she's in it, and there was another lady they had who's playing a cook. I
Yep.
guess it was like their Girl Squad friends stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, but they were talking about Val Kilmer, and they said Mad Mardigan is Val Kilmer.
Okay.
So we're not getting a new Mad Mardigan.
Sweet.
And there's
It's just he's not going to be
he's
focused.
right. He's not. He's
Great.
like, and
I love it.
And they were like, "Look, we would have loved to have him, but we all understand what's going on with him. So it's like, it was very. I think it's very heartfelt. I think
It's loving.
Yep.
very loving,
Yeah,
and so
absolutely.
and Val is aware of the show, and because he still talks to who plays the Saoirse, the princess lady, not the little one, but the one redhead. They still talk,
Yeah.
and so they text each other, and shows they've been in so, and he really feels the love from everything,
Good,
and so
good,
it's
good,
real,
good.
yeah, it's really going.
So
yeah,
Saoirse is to Val Kilmer as Winona Ryder is to Keanu, or not Winona, Sandra Bullock is to Keanu.
right.
Like they just all love each other.
I think
but-
Winona and Keanu are close.
and
to
Winona,
it.
but like I
Yeah.
meant Sandy because I know
Yeah.
Sandra Bullock.
Yeah,
And,
like they all.
but they're all just like
message
we
each
did a
other,
movie
yeah.
and now we're besties.
right. I would love to be besties with both Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves. So
Yeah.
And Winona Ryder.
Yeah, I would like to.
Right,
do
yeah,
that. Yeah.
Winona Ryder was my first sexual awakening. I was like, oh, that's why I like girls. I get it.
See, it was
Emo girl.
Alyssa,
the gothy-
Milano.
Milano, right.
Milano in Who's the Boss,
Yeah.
right? Like
Beetlejuice. I mean, I was that
those
goth.
girls.
That's my boy. Bam. Oh, Lydia.
I mean, I'm
Lydia,
not saying anything
Lydia.
bad about
Have you seen
BTGGs,
Lydia?
but
Lydia, the bearded lady.
So let's see what else.
but they were scary.
But
But
so
yeah,
before we end day
yeah.
one, I wanted. Did you?
Well, I mean, it wasn't even the end of day one.
Oh,
before
sorry.
We got Jedi Survivor.
Right.
Oh no, the other live action thing we got is it was the Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton
That's when
Crew.
they announced
Yeah, Skeleton Crew, which was what was his
Jude
code?
Law.
Yeah, what was the code name we had? It was
It was code
Grammar
name,
Radio.
Grammar
Radio. Well, Rodeo. Grammar Rodeo. We
Yeah.
talked about last week.
So they announced Grammar Rodeo is Skeleton
Crew
Crew
with
and
Jude
they-
Law.
and they did confirm it's a show about Academy. It's going to focus on the kids, but it's going to be for everybody.
So Dumbledore is a Jedi Master, I guess.
yeah, I'm thinking he's like a.
great,
I'm-
real space Hogwarts.
I kind of hope maybe Kyle Katarn
Maybe so.
put that out there on my vision board.
Or Cal from
Cal Kestis.
Cal
Cal Kestis, yeah. Well, I don't know. I feel like they're gonna wait to bring Cal Kestis as an older version for later. 'Cause
Right.
I think they want to keep the actor.
So before we get to the Star Wars, the game stuff,
Yeah, because that was the same day.
because you reminded me when we were talking about the interview stuff. Did you watch Ashley's?
Oh no. Oh wait, I might have seen bits and pieces.
So Ashley Eckstein, they had Ash because Ashley's at Celebration
Yeah.
because she's got her universe. I think
I liked watching her talk about her universe and how she designed.
Right. But here's the thing that kind of broke my heart about Ashley, because I'm not.
I know what you're gonna say.
I'm not friends with Ashley. I don't know Ashley, but I've met her 3 or 4 times, and she is this sweet and loving and I like just
Loves she loves her audience.
right, but and so I just root for her, and so I'm like I'm really happy of all her success and everything. So
I know what's coming.
So Andy Gutierrez is hosting this panel with the little interview.
It's like
with
little interviews
he's
in
the-
between panels.
In between panels for the
streamers.
For the
But
stream,
if
yeah.
you're at the event, you can just
There's-
stand at this venue and they'll
right, the live show. And so it's just like a bonus thing. And so she asks, "Oh, so have you talked to Rosario about Ahsoka?" And she's like, "I've never met her." And then she says, "I'm just putting this out there. You put things out in the universe." And the first thing she says, "I'd love to meet Rosario Dawson." And then she goes, "I also would like to be in the show as a cameo." And I was like, "Oh, she's not in the show? How's that possible?" They put Matt Latner in the
Yeah.
other in Mando.
Yeah.
And it's like, why isn't Ashley in the show?
It's so weird because Dave,
She was emotional about it. And I'm
Dave-
like,
and
don't
she-
make Ashley cry.
And she was
Right.
and she was still like, we're Team Ahsoka, we're Team Tano, so we're all in
Right.
this together.
And
Like,
I was
it's
just-
like she had no hard feelings about it.
But I'm still like, you put that baby in that show. I know she's not a baby, but we'll get to that later.
it's so weird that Dave, who's running these shows, doesn't.
And my second thought, my first thought was like to get mad about it. My second thought was like, is this the big psych out? But then I'm like, I don't think that's her game.
No, if this was a Dave interview, yes,
Right.
because Dave loves to play the what's going on game,
Right.
But Ashley doesn't do
Right.
that.
So they're 2 weeks into filming. There's a cameo for her. There has to be. Dave better call her up this weekend and be like, "Oh man, I'm sorry."
They're gonna let her be Ayla. Ayla survived.
Yeah, I would. That'd be good. I'd be fine with that.
I'm not asking for anything. They put Matt Latner, gave him a line, and shot him.
Yeah.
I think that's what.
Okay, if we can't make Ashley cry,
Right.
we can't shoot Ashley.
But we can shoot Matt.
But we can't it's not real. So real crying versus fake shooting. I'm okay with fake shooting.
Yeah.
Dave, put her in that show.
Yep.
Then put me in the show after that. But I would.
Yeah, you got plenty of time.
Right. I know how to act.
Since it's the same day, we'll go and we're talking about things.
Yeah,
that
I just want to
happened
mention
on the
that.
side.
Right.
So something we did not expect to see at all at Star Wars Celebration because there wasn't a panel or anything, even though there were rumors that it might show up. A lot of the reports got mixed, and we weren't sure. Jedi Fallen Order sequel, Jedi Survivor got shown. We got a trailer. So I of course was happy about that.
Have you played it?
Oh.
Oh, so you played it?
So
Okay, hold on. Use your words.
I was so excited for this game.
Right.
It's gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
It's what I wanted.
Right.
Uh-oh.
I didn't know it was a Dark Souls style game.
Yeah, it's brutal.
So I got through the tutorial. I get to the first planet. I complete the first mission. I'm getting back to the
So far,
ship.
sounds like his story.
Going back to the ship, there's a hole. I'm like, oh, what's down the hole? Oh, it's the boss monster for the level. Cool. Quit. Quit.
Oh, the Bogano.
Whatever the big
got ya?
spider
Oh,
rhino
the-
is.
Oh, I beat that.
No. I even went to this little side cavern where I could try to, it wouldn't let me hit it
Right.
because it couldn't hit me back. Like, I'm going to work smarter, not harder, right? I get in there, I'm like, meep, 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 and it's like, I'm not taking damage. You got to come out here to take damage.
Right.
All right, cool. I'm going to step out. I'm going to, ooh. All right, I'm dead. I'm going to run back in here, get my health back up. Oh, guess what? His health went back up, too.
Were
I
you
hate
playing on story mode?
I don't, what other mode is there?
He's going to help you out
So to help you out a little,
because we need a
Is
whippersnapper.
there a free-for-all?
there's a story mode. So there's difficulties, right?
Right.
Unlike Dark Souls, which do not have difficulty.
Right.
There's just one difficulty. This one was like, hey, we're going to go easy on you because we want you to still play the game.
Yeah.
So there's story mode. which gives you a little more opportunity to block and stuff like that, and gives you a little more health and stuff like that. I would suggest maybe that.
Probably. I'm just bad at that.
See,
shit.
my problem was
His problem wasn't that.
so because I beat the first planet, I got to the next planet and it's fun, and then I get lost and the map is not intuitive.
No.
The map is not great.
Yeah, that's what
My biggest complaint is
and
the
while,
map.
while I've beaten it twice, I also agree that the map is
The,
shit.
the map's not good because especially after I had just got through playing Red Dead Redemption, that map's amazing.
Yes.
And so I just couldn't figure it out. It's in this 3D thing, and my brain doesn't work that way because I'm like, I need a map like Dora. I need a map.
Yeah, and I get that there's.
Thank you.
I get that there's 3D stuff going on in
Right,
the level, but
right.
I need to do like old school 3D where you have layered maps where I see, okay, this is the floor I'm on.
Right.
Cool.
Give me a Final Fantasy map.
Yeah. And then I can switch floors if I need to. If I need,
right.
Don't present it all
Because
at once.
I keep getting lost, and so I got mad.
And
so I
yeah,
finished it.
Zepho is terrible. Zepho, like, that's the planet you got lost
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Zepho is terrible. And, like, even on my second playthrough, I was like, I know this game. I know where I'm going. No, I don't.
Yeah, because it all kind of looks the same, and it's just like,
As soon as you get into the tunnels on that,
God, I'm having like flashbacks.
there are people who I know who have beaten it on the hardest level, and they admit that they get lost on Zepho every
But
time.
but I'm with you. It's pretty. It's fun to play.
Yeah.
It's
And
just
it's a great
frustra-
story.
It's a great story. It's frustrating. I would have loved to. Spoiler: get to the end and fight Vader. That would have been cool. I've seen the cutscenes for that.
Yeah, so
I wish there was like a
the
code
fight-
you
the
could
fight
be
with
like,
Vader-
go fight Vader code.
the fight with Vader is more of a Vader beats your ass and then you run away.
So I'm okay with that. I'd be like, at least I survived, baby.
Enough to go. Apparently, Jedi Survivor takes place So a little details on the game. Apparently, takes place 5 years later.
So
We're hitting the same time as Kenobi.
all right, cool.
Yeah.
And Quizzy is in it, Grand Inquisitor.
Quizzy, is that what we're calling it now? You kids and your names.
Thanks, I hate it.
Dude, I hate Quizzy. I'd rather go with GQ.
GQ. Well, it would be GI.
Yeah, GQ.
Which is different.
Whatever.
But he's got that issue now, so let's he's probably having a GI.
But
My
yeah,
only-
so
my
he-
only-
it
my-
looks
my
like-
only-
So because we have beaten Second Sister and Ninth Sister is assumed still dead because, as far as we know, she fell off a tree in Kashyyyk. The highest tree in Kashyyyk, in
Yeah.
fact.
That's a big old tree. Well,
Yeah.
she's a big old lady.
So we assume she's dead until proven otherwise. They must be like, hey, let's send the big man after you, but not Vader because Vader's got to be busy with Obi Wan.
Well, he's also like already been like. I've already beat his ass once. Why? You guys can take care of him, right? He's a pussy. I got him.
Yeah, it's like I almost beat him and almost killed him. So Grand Inquisitor, you deal with it. And so that's gonna be the, I guess, premise. And then I guess he finds more Jedi survivors because title.
Right.
And also we see somebody in a bacta tank. I've yet to figure out. I think it's a new character.
We'll call Steve.
Yeah. Do you want to tell the story about a character your offspring thought was in the game?
Let me tell you a little story
About a man named Jim.
about a man named Gray. Friday, Obi-Wan comes out early.
Right.
Right? Well, Thursday, I guess, technically.
Yeah.
Thursday.
11 p.m.
But
our
because
time.
I'm a good, caring husband and father,
Yes, you are.
I waited until 9 o'clock at night to watch with the members of my family.
So
that
you
wanted
are
to watch.
almost 24 hours later.
Almost 24 hours later,
I couldn't have done it.
I
I
sit
just
down
watched it twice.
to watch Kenobi.
Right.
Press play. Skip recap. My first initial thought, what? And then they gave us, a 4-minute
Yeah.
recap of the prequels.
Which is great. That's
Right.
a
Which is
great
great.
use of jokes.
Yeah.
Also, probably the best edit of the prequels.
Right. We're going to go with the recap edit. But the episode starts.
Right.
The title screen goes through. We get the first 10 seconds of the show. Grayson busts open the door and says, pause it. Boy, what?
Not in this house. This is a Star Wars house.
He couldn't wait. He's already seen it. So he jumps in and says, pause it. Of course, my wife, a lovely person, pauses it. Yeah, baby, what's the matter? Dad, Revan's going to be in the Survivor game. No, he's not. No, No. Revan's not going to be 2,000 years old after he's already dead in Old
Be
Republic.
like Jesus and come back.
Are you high? Well, no, but people are saying they saw a red saber with a silver mask. So what? Like, dude, I was about to lose it because I'm like,
I've got the
started.
I've got the clip on loop to figure out who this
episode.
character is, but I don't.
But you've seen you've played Old Republic,
Yeah, it's
right?
not Revan.
Any of the Sith assassins have a metal mask.
Yeah, there's a lot of Sith. who
There's
have
so
metal.
many different masks that the Sith could use that have narrow.
Right.
Like, come on.
Hell, it
Grayson.
could be a remade, Jedi Temple Guard mask.
Right. Get out of my face.
Sorry, Gray. You're wrong.
It's
Wicked
and it's,
wrong.
and it's
It'd be
okay, it's
hilarious
okay,
if he's
but-
right, though.
Yeah.
If he's right, dude, I will spend an entire episode saying I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I won't say anything. Y'all can have an episode. If you cut to me, I'll be like, sorry, Gray. Like, the whole episode.
So
That's
there
all I'll
is a
say.
mystery Sith, but because I'm looking at I'm looking at that specific. There's like a very specific clip where this guy who's in a cloak and everything, hood with a red lightsaber shows up and fights Cal. But like, there's not. I don't get a good enough shot of a mask.
No, it's just the 28th brother.
Yeah. And then as far as the silver hair, a lot of people on Reddit are unsure. One person posed, and I think it's a stupid proposition, but Sabayoth from Jorah Sabayoth.
No,
Let's not.
it's gonna
Tim's
be.
on be like, sure, pay me more money.
Yeah.
What about the Dark Lady?
That's my first thought would be the Dark Lady.
But it looks like a guy, so
The Dark
Dude,
Dude.
Sephiroth.
yeah. Well, that was a joke answer in the Reddit thread I was
Is
looking
it?
at. Yeah.
Nice.
Sephiroth. That's funny.
Sephiroth, Sabayoth, whatever.
Yeah. Same idea.
They're cousins.
Meh.
Speaking, I guess, of
Cal,
Revan,
Cloud, this works.
we'll talk about our
May-
our little bet
maybe,
later that
maybe,
we made.
Maybe Survivors is just Final Fantasy VII.
We're like
Part
48
two.
minutes into
Yeah,
this.
let's-
We haven't got
yeah.
in.
We haven't even done Obi-Wan yet.
Okay, so let's speed run through the rest, I guess. So they did the Mando Plus panel. We'll talk about that next. We'll get to animated stuff after.
So
So Mando Plus panel, they talked more about what they're doing.
they talk more about the plus.
yeah. But they showed the sizzle of Ahsoka, which made you very happy because that got leaked.
So I'm at this con, and then I get a text from Caleb, and it's like, "Oh, you got to watch this. They've leaked Ahsoka footage." I'm like, "Okay, cool," because I'm excited to see Ahsoka footage. And the very first shot I see is the back of Harrison Dula, and then I was like, "All my Star Wars wishes and dreams have come true. I don't have anything left to wish for. I'm happy.
Yep.
This is my Star Wars life."
Yeah. And so that was like, and that's why I knew to send that to you.
Oh.
And so the
It's just her back,
Yeah.
and I'm like, but it's the
and
jumpsuit.
we still
and-
don't know who's playing her, but the rumor is Mary Elizabeth.
I thought they confirmed it this thing.
They might have confirmed.
I
at
thought
the
they
thing.
confirmed it.
Obi-Wan's wife.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm all for that. They definitely confirmed Sabine. Sabine's
Yeah,
like-
because she came out on stage.
Yeah, she was like, I've been holding on to this for a year. Now I can tell everyone I'm Sabine.
But I thought we knew that.
We already kind of knew.
We had rumors, but
Like we knew the person was cast, but we didn't
Okay.
like.
Oh, we didn't know who she was cast as. I thought we had confirmed that.
we didn't confirm it. It was just
Oh,
rumor.
okay. But it is the girl from
Yeah, it's the person we thought it was. Yeah,
Guns Akimbo.
yeah.
Yeah,
And so she walked out on stage and it's like
Natasha Liu
yeah.
Bordizio.
Yeah, she walked out on stage. Rosario wasn't there. I don't.
She's probably shooting.
No,
Yeah.
Rosario was there.
Oh yeah, that's right.
She showed up
for a little
she-
bit.
for the plus. She showed up for the plus
Yep.
section.
So everybody showed up for the plus.
So the Mando Plus thing happens, and then Dave is out there talking, and
I know exactly who started it because I have a friend who started it.
Thank God for your friend, but it turned out to be my
Is
favorite.
Is this where he's a jerk?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
so one of my TikTok friends started. His voice was killing him, but he said, "Where's Ezra?" And then everybody started
They're
asking,
saying, "Where's Ezra?" And Dave goes, "You know what's funny? I know." Mic drop. And then today he was like, "Oh, I know exactly where Ezra," because they did it again because they showed the Siege of Mandalore for everybody, and Gabe come out to kind of introduce it, and they did it again, and he goes, "I know exactly where he is. He's very far, far away." And I was like, "Oh, Dave, you dick!"
But that's what Dave does.
I love Dave Filoni.
But yeah, so that's all of our live action shows. There was also a Lego panel where they talked about one of their shorts that's this year that they're doing.
I'm surprised they didn't build that up more.
The
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Yep.
He fell for it. I know. I was right there. You damn Lego joke.
Yeah. But they announced one little short. They're doing one this year in August, summer vacation. So they're keeping with the different seasons. This one.
I know y'all like them. They're not. I mean, there's
I like them. They're fun.
I think you both like them, but
I only watched the one Christmas one.
Okay, yeah. So
and I saw the Halloween one
too. So
too.
the Christmas one focused on Rey. The Halloween one focused on Poe. This one's going to focus on Finn.
Maybe I did watch the Poe one. I don't remember.
The baby
Halloween one is basically another sequel to the Tales from Vader's Castle comics.
Yeah.
Where they're like, let's go to Vader's Castle again because that's a great idea.
No, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, it's cute, but it's like the Lego ones for me are like I've seen it. It's funny, but
it's
chances are there for
right. You're right. But I also have the humor for a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
It cracks me up. Like,
as far as other animated stuff, Dave was also there for Tales of the Jedi, which had its own panel.
Yeah, so Tales of the Jedi looks fascinating. So it's an anthology series.
And for this season, only 6 episodes.
6 episodes.
3 of them are going to be focused on Dooku's life, and they're going to spread out like they're going to show us the beginning of his life. Middle of his life,
I saw pictures of him in various stages of beard.
Yeah, and so we're going to see a little bit of
hello
there, which is funny because we also got a Yoda comic announced where we're also going to see more young Dooku, and then the other 3 are going to focus on Ahsoka, and that's the one that everybody was.
Oh my God! The pictures of baby Ahsoka is adorbs. Just absolutely adorable. It's like her. She's like in like a whatever the Bjorn thing.
Yeah.
And her mom's carrying her.
And her mom's carrying her. I'm like, life can't get cuter, right? Today I got live action Hera and baby Ahsoka.
Yeah, and then,
I'm good.
And then the people that were there got to watch the full first episode, which is 20 minutes. They're gonna be shorts,
right?
And by shorts we mean less than the 30 minutes.
So I wonder if they're gonna release them all at once, like they did Visions.
Probably. That's the general assumption.
That's
yeah,
cool.
if you
I'll
can watch it all in an hour and a half.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
might as
Yeah,
well.
I'll enjoy it. Yeah.
And then the other animated thing did not get an actual. It was like one of those side announcements. Young Jedi Adventures,
Which is High Republic.
High Republic era, which
But
I'm
it's
kind
for-
of excited about. But
it's like-
it's a Disney Junior show.
It's like for kids and juniors, so it's like,
it's not going to be important. But
Dora the Jedi Explorer.
I might check it. I might check it out just to see what lore they might drop. But they're probably not going to drop anything.
Hola! Can you say absolutes?
Yeah.
Only Sith deal in absolutes. Are you a Sith? Yes or no? Oh God, what happens?
You better answer no.
No, the yes or no is an absolute.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I gotcha.
I mean, technically, by saying only the Sith deal in absolute
So-
is also an absolute.
So would it be Ola or be Uta Guta?
Right.
Yeah.
Bullshooter.
Look, I was spitballing the whole idea as
No,
fast
I
enough.
like it. I like it. I like it.
couldn't go to Arabesh yet.
I got you.
And then the last thing for animated got dropped today. Bad Batch Season 2 trailer drop.
And it looks good.
And they're bringing back the Wookiee Jedi from Clone Wars.
Right. So we get Wookiee Jedi again. There's a scene where Omega is like spying on the Emperor or watching the Emperor do stuff, and I'm like, well, that's crazy.
Right.
And-
Gungi, that's the name of the
Gungi,
Jedi.
yeah. And then they all have new armor redesigns.
Yep.
Like there's all like new characters redesigns.
Yeah,
for everybody.
yeah.
Did they get them
they got to sell more toys.
Did they get them a cue?
No, and I don't know if they got him a Q or not.
Okay.
But it looks like we're
Dun,
starting to
dun,
see.
dun.
We're definitely starting. So season 1 was definitely the start of getting rid of the clones. Season 2 is going to be there's no more clones from
Right.
the look of it.
Not true. There's one in Obi-Wan.
Well, I meant like
Well, I can't wait to talk about
within
that.
the
I
within
cannot
the
fucking
within
wait
the
to talk about
military
that.
structure. Within
Oh,
the
okay.
military structure.
Fair enough.
Can you help a veteran? Fucking goddamn it! Go.
Dude,
All right.
what do you think went through his head when he heard his voice? Cody? Like
Cody,
Rex?
Or Rex.
Rex? Any of them?
Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
'Cause
Whoa,
Cody
whoa,
was
hold
in
on.
it.
Wait, because
I've been trying to talk about it.
we're almost done.
We're
Almost
good.
done.
Well, that's it.
That's it. And then next year, Celebration's London.
London. Yep.
So we'll all have accents and go over the seas. We'll
Brilliant.
try.
Yeah.
We'll try.
That would be brilliant.
So I'm excited for Celebration.
I
All
wanted
right,
to-
Obi-Wan.
Yes.
All right, so timestamp this so the people at the beginning can know if they only want to watch Obi-Wan Day, they can go to 4th hour and 30
So
second
it's
minute.
49, 17, and counting.
I have to check on the edit because the edit will be
Yeah, the edit will be
shorter.
different.
I'm just saying, I think we should be like, by the way, we ramble for about 45 minutes.
Well, because this
And by
weekend-
ramble, I mean we have my Star Wars life, and then we go into
Well, because
Obi-Wan
this
Day.
weekend was exciting. We had a lot of news.
For a change. We hadn't had that in a long time.
Yeah.
All right. Obi Wan Kenobi, episode 1 called Episode 1.
I was
part-
very,
Part one.
Part
'cause
one,
they
yeah.
called 'em, parts.
I was very appreciative of their naming convention in this show. It leaves no ambiguity.
What's just like
Just
Season,
right to it.
right to it.
Season 1, Chapter 1. Season 2, Chapter 17. What?
All of these are. I think all of these are directed by Deborah Chow, right?
Yes, so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, these two are.
These two so far.
All right. I thought the whole show was,
And it
I
may
didn't
be.
double check. I'm already.
but it's only
behind.
6 episodes, so it's like, all right. So, written by Jay Harold, Hosanna Mani, and a few others. Neither one of those would surprise me, and I think it's a good thing was Favreau or Filoni. Some that I do want to talk about.
And yes, Deborah Chow directs all 6 episodes.
So Deborah Chow directs all of them. Stars Ewan McGregor as Obi Wan Kenobi. What was it? Was
Great value.
Great Value.
Orlando
Orlando Bloom himself, Rupert Friend as the Grand Inquisitor. Sung Kang, who also just has a fucking great name, as the fifth brother.
He's in Mortal Kombat, right?
I've used Sung Kang to fight Liu Kang. Moses Ingram as the Reva, the third sister. And then there Joel Egerton as Owen. We see a little Baru. She's in there.
We need more Baru. Justice for Baru. We get Jimmy Smith's back.
Jimmy Smith is back. The biggest surprise is Vivian Lembleur as Leia.
Yes.
And that was a huge reveal, and we'll get to
That Leia's in it?
Yeah, the Leia's in
Yeah.
it.
And let me see. Is this?
And Flea, don't forget about
But I say,
Flea.
but the biggest thing was like Flea. So now we can continue our Dave Navarro joke. So we have Dave Navarro, the planet, and Flea's in the show.
And then we get to see Queen Bria from Alderaan.
yeah,
as well.
Queen Brea. Is she the original actress?
I was looking that up, and I do not see it on our IMDb
Okay, so
or on our Wikipedia either.
because they got like Baru and Owen's original.
And then bringing and for the going back to Andor, they're bringing the same actress from Revenge for Mon Mothma.
Yeah, and Rebels.
And she was in Rebels.
She was in
Does
Rebels.
you have bad hair day? That's all that show's going to be bad. Mon
So,
Mothma's bad hair day.
Normally I'd have a whole thing written out, but I don't. So the next.
How dare you have 13 jobs?
Right.
Yeah,
so episode
I
3
mean-
will be a lot better. So let's just talk about it. So
Yeah.
I'll let. I've
The
been
first
talking.
time anybody's ever said that.
Let's just talk about it.
Episode 3 is going to be a lot better.
Well, it was better than episode 2. Come on, Caleb can agree
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah, episode 2's on my
He's on his low list.
Still good, but man.
What's at the bottom?
at the bottom. I think it's actually episode 2.
I got you. I think at the bottom for me is Clone Wars,
But it's like fighting with Rise of Skywalker.
I got you.
Oh, if we're gonna include Clone Wars, then yes.
The Clone Wars movie's not great.
But I was thinking live action.
Well, I always like
Caravan of Courage. No, I'm just kidding.
my favorite trolling thing on Twitter because every now and
for
then
Endor's top tier. We all know that.
it's one of my favorite things to troll on Twitter when I feel like trolling is when people do like they do an order list of their favorite Star Wars movie the order list for the Star Wars movies, and they keep forgetting about Clone Wars, which had a theatrical release. And I was like, you have to count it.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
like, I don't know, it's a TV. No, it had a theatrical release.
Yep.
Warner Brothers put it out. It's so bad. Fox was like, nah, we're good.
Oh, there's a sad reason why. Hold on.
Oh, she did.
Hold on. Let me
Or
double
did she-
check here. Hold on. That math doesn't.
She was killed by math that didn't add up.
Yeah, there's. Okay, so she's still around, but in '99 she's okay. So a different actress than for Bria. But yeah, her career. That was the only film that the original actress did.
Gotcha. So the first thing we get is a recap of episode 1 through 3.
Mm-hmm.
And we see the rise and fall of Anakin Skywalker and Obi Wan Kenobi all with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so from there,
We get interrupted about a video game.
that was our show.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
And then we jump into the even though it's not a Dave show, we see Order 66 again.
Yeah, we get straight up Order 66.
Right.
And so it starts with-
Okay, which can we talk a little bit about the elephant in the room, about when this show came out and how close it is to certain events?
Sure.
And how Stranger Things kind of dealt with it better because they also had a similar thing.
I haven't seen Stranger Things yet, so no, I don't want to talk about Stranger Things.
Okay.
So have you watched this season yet?
No, but I heard what happens in the opening.
Okay, no, I'm gonna watch it. Probably start watching it tonight.
That's what my plan is. Sit down and
but-
watch and eat dinner.
So let's talk about the fact that it's weird that I know that Lucasfilm, obviously they planned for Obi-Wan's release
Right.
as far back as ever, but unfortunately, let's talk about the fact that there was a shooting.
Yeah, we had a shooting.
We had a shooting days before Obi-Wan
Right.
came out. It feels weird that there's not a little bit of a warning. Because
Well-
I know people that actually had a very bad reaction to seeing children killed immediately.
Yeah, but they're not gonna
After-
have they're Star Wars.
But it's not going to keep them from enjoying it later.
right.
But
Lucasfilm's not gonna put a warning on their stuff.
But
But I get you.
And maybe the justification is I'm not saying this is a good justification.
Because they're about the same age.
What I'm about to say does not reflect how I would feel about it, but I'm wondering if the justification is the temple is more of a church than a school.
Maybe.
That is shooting at a church like 3 weeks ago.
But I'm just
because America.
right? But I don't know.
It's
My-
I didn't feel as upset about it until somebody mentioned it. I was like, yeah, that's kind of.
Do you want to hear something terrible? I didn't even think about it.
I didn't either. Because,
didn't
and
either.
that's what I was about to say.
I didn't
because
either, and then
when
somebody
I start
brought it
watching
up.
something, I unplug from reality.
Same.
Yeah.
I don't
Unfortunately, some people, it's hard to disconnect.
unless something jars me out of that unplugging.
Mm-hmm.
You, Sam Raimi. But
We'll talk about that on a different show.
It was like being pulled out of the Matrix forcefully. But anyway, no, I didn't even think about it. My not problem, but my question.
Because they're about the
is-
same age.
No,
and
I was
no.
deflecting.
No, yeah, deflect.
My question
free.
about this for the beginning scene though is because we hear them saying execute Order 66,
And it is Coruscant.
right? But doesn't Anakin show up with the 501st way later than that when he has his scenes with the younglings?
No, they all march
No,
in.
they're all about the. So it is
that-
later. It is later than the initial
it's
execute
not the
order.
initial execution, I thought.
It's like minutes later.
Is it?
though. Yeah,
You know,
it's not
yeah.
like a big span, but
No, episode 3, Vader tells Luke. I mean, not Vader. Luke. The Emperor tells Vader to go to the temple, and then he executes order after Vader leaves.
Is it right then?
Right then he goes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right. It's in the same. Yeah, Commander Cody execute, and then you see the montage.
Oh no! So I'm looking at the scene now. He marches on the temple first, and then Commander Cody gets the call.
Okay.
So it's all
Which because then they probably cut to
And they start
Cody
doing-
hunting Obi-Wan.
Yeah, and they cut to the initial where they're like, oh yeah, we shot him, and then we see the montage where Kiadi, who deserved it, he had it coming.
But
no love for
didn't.
Kiada. Plo Koon didn't have it.
No, Plo Koon.
Ayla didn't.
Plo Koon and Ayla did not deserve it, but Kiadi had it coming. But yeah. Oh yeah, and Sassy.
Tin.
Not Adigalia, but the other one. The one that's the same race, but
Because Sassy Tin is the one that isn't
he dies.
Kit Fisto.
Yeah, he dies somewhere else.
I think he's the one with the horns that goes. I think he goes with
He
Kit
dies
and
with
Mace,
Mace,
doesn't he?
Stace Ali, that's the other one I was thinking of. Because Stace Ali's the other like
With the suckers.
with the little sucker. Yeah.
That wasn't Adigalia?
No, not on that. Not on that bike. Adigalia is already dead, isn't she? Hold on, let me make sure I'm not confusing.
Yeah, I don't know. What you doing?
Yeah,
Looking up the synopsis because I watched the episode Friday and Sunday, and I had a big.
yeah, that's fair.
I'm trying to make sure.
No, so I was correct. So Adigalia is the one who dies at the hands of Savage, and then Stace Ali dies in Order 66.
Okay.
She's apparently Adigalia's cousin,
Okay.
because George had to explain things. Even though you don't.
Why would George have to explain things when Episode 3 came out well before
But you know what I mean.
Savage and
Yeah.
Clone Wars?
Well, he has to explain why, like, there's a different person that looks different.
Do they look different?
Vaguely.
There we go.
Okay.
But yeah.
A long way to get to that.
Oh no, yeah. Anyways, so then we see a few survivors that make it out of Order 66.
So
One
it's,
of-
according to Wikipedia, it's several younglings are training at the Jedi Temple under the instruction of Master Minas Velti.
She's awesome, by the way. Like,
Yeah, that
her moves.
Yeah, she was pretty sweet.
She was pretty sweet.
she was good enough to get those younglings to live.
She got it. I mean, she did her job.
So is one of the younglings
My theory
Reva.
is that it's
Reva.
Reva.
Reva?
Yeah.
There's a little.
I have to
black
go
girl.
back and is there
There is
The little
no
black,
co-
the
there-
little black girl.
Yeah, there's no confirmation that it's Reva,
yet?
but I think that's what we're building to, and I
Yeah.
think that's going to answer something we'll talk about when we get to part 2.
Yeah. Because
There-
she has a
There's a thing in part 2.
She has
She has some information.
A lady angry boner for Kenobi. So
and she has some information.
Right.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in a second.
That,
So from there, we finish the flashback. We go to Tatooine. It's 10 years later.
mhm.
And then the Inquisitors show up. You get the Grand Inquisitor and his dumb head.
Fifth brother and his dumb head.
His fifth brother and his dumb. Fifth brother just looks like he's had too much prednisone. He needs to cut down on steroids. His head's a little fat.
And then a very, very angry third sister.
Third sister's just pissed off.
And they are already hunting for a Jedi
she's not that pissed.
It's like
who's not Kenobi. They're looking for Nari.
No, but she's not that mad because she doesn't have yellow eyes.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm not like scared of her yet.
You're not scared of her.
There's still
No
good in
Sith eyes.
There's still good in her. I can feel them. I mean,
See them.
Feel them what?
nothing. Boobs.
Hello. And we're canceled. Only took an hour.
Yeah, they're looking for Nari.
Normally we get canceled in like 10 minutes, so we've been doing well.
So the thing is that apparently Jedis cannot help themselves from doing good things.
Which is that's generally the issue with Jedi in a lot of media is that
Like-
hey, we get caught up in doing the good thing,
things,
and that's how we get hunted down.
And so they find one. They find Neri, and then they try to chase him down, but he escapes.
Yep. And then Reva's like, "Hey, why are we going after this small fry when
Yeah.
we can look for
Hey,
Obi-Wan?"
This guy's terrible. Punchface can catch him. I got to kill Obi-Wan. And Grand Inquisitor's like, no, I will kill Obi-Wan.
Well, it's also more of like I think at this point he's like, "Nah, that's Vader's job. We're
Yeah,
not
it's Vader's job.
We're not.
He probably wants to, but can't go. I don't think you've thought this through.
Yeah."
Because
The last guy that tried to kill him was Vader.
right. And look what happened to Vader. Vader's a robot.
Vader also cut one of our limbs each just as a lesson for
Yeah.
us to be Inquisitors.
Right.
Now you know how it feels times 4.
Yeah. Well, that was basically like
That's how you become one.
that was his training. Like Palpatine in the comics was like, "Hey, train these guys," and he's like, "Sure." Cut off one limb of all of them. All right, you've been trained. Because now you've got your anger.
That's how this works. Then we finally get to Obi-Wan in this show.
At a meatpacking factory.
Cutting some month-old space manta desert meat.
Nope, it's Krayt Dragon.
That was not a crate dragon.
That's what they think it is.
That was a
well,
manta.
I don't trust Wikipedia for that.
Well, right at the moment, it's Krayt Dragon.
Well,
I think it was like a space fish.
See, this
It
is
was
why
a
we- this is
manta
why-
ray.
this is
Like
why
it
we-
looked. We already have seen a crate dragon in Mando.
This is why we can't source Wikipedia.
Right.
I'm just using it for a base.
That's fine. They wrong.
And because they don't have a source for it.
Just their eyes. I'm just saying it looked like a space whale.
All I know.
I thought it was
Yeah.
fish.
Yeah, it looked like fish.
Yeah.
It looked like salmon.
right. All I know is it stays fresh forever.
Sure.
I mean,
In a desert?
maybe they got a lot of salt.
Well, yeah, maybe it's like just mummified, whatever. You know, like it's like dry aged meat or like
Yeah,
shark
maybe.
tails.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like the crust outside is like you don't want, but you cut into it and it's like
Yeah.
fresh meat.
So, but he's at a meat packing factory.
And he packs meat and saves some for his
Eope.
Eope, who's adorable.
What's the name? Because we have a name for that.
The job sucks. The guy who's overseeing is basically robbing the employees blind.
I'm ready for him to get his karma because they wouldn't have had that scene if something doesn't bad happen to him
Yeah.
later.
And then we go to.
Am I the only one that's so gun shy that every time Obi-Wan put a piece of meat in his jacket, I was waiting for
For
something
somebody
bad?
to catch him.
Yeah,
somebody to just
I thought that was gonna be part of the plot. Maybe that's
Yeah.
like part of his perks. You get to keep one of those. Also, it's like you did not see the meat.
Right.
Yeah.
See, that's a slippery slope for a Jedi.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, you can't be like, you did not see the meat. Sorry, what?
So then he goes to the Jundland Waste where he has a very nice cave.
Yeah.
It's not like a bachelor pad cave, right?
Is it a cave though,
That's-
or is it the opening of a series of tunnels when you could get snuck up on by a Jawa?
Also known as a cave. Caves are a series of tunnels.
Also,
Well, cave's the opening, then you have caverns.
Yeah.
Also, Obi-Wan speaks Jawaese.
Yep.
Or at least hears it or understands it.
Right.
I don't remember
Yeah,
him going.
He doesn't speak it, but
I
he
don't remember
understands
him
it.
going. Yeah, Dikose.
Yeah, but like he understands it.
Yeah.
He gets
He gets packages.
surprised by Tika, who's a Jawa, who's hilarious.
Who's stealing from him and
and
selling
then
it back.
reselling it.
It's like at least you could clean it up before you resell it.
That costs extra.
It's, he buys a toy T-16 Skyhopper
Awesome.
that we see
Yeah.
later on.
Later on.
I-
Connections.
Yeah.
I was like, the kids were like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Really?
Have you not
The-
watched
Have
New
you
Hope?
not watched it 1,300 times yet?"
Yeah, haven't we raised you right?
I mean, he's literally sitting there by the back to tank.
But Kenobi needs his parts for broken moisture evaporator, and Tika's like, I got those, but of course they're his own parts. And so, but he offered him a good deal. Later that night, Kenobi has
Little PTSD.
little PTS dreams about everything that happened. Then he goes to his favorite little perch to watch the Lars farm. So we see Owen trying to get poor Luke little Luke to help him do something, but Luke's busy sneaking off.
Yeah.
I'm
Dreaming of being a pilot.
I'm surprised Owen doesn't just beat Luke.
But you know,
Because my dad would kick the shit out of
Right,
me.
right.
Boy, I told you to hold that flashlight.
but I did appreciate his timbre when he was calling for Luke,
Right.
Because
Yeah.
it was
Oh, yeah.
it had echoes of old
Oh,
Owen
yeah,
calling for
yeah.
Luke, so it was I was appreciated. I'm glad he didn't do it the exact same, like Luke. No, he was just like Luke, and then you could just under his breath almost hear him. God damn it,
Yep.
Luke.
And then so that night he sneaks in and drops off the toy and heads back. But when he heads back, he gets
Well,
he gets surprised by Nari, the other Jedi, who's like, "Yo, Kenobi, sweet."
well, also we missed something important after his PTSD dream.
Oh.
He wakes up and tries to contact Qui-Gon.
Yeah, he tries to contact Qui-Gon. That didn't work.
The reception out there is horrible.
She's
Yeah,
got to be
I know.
terrible. But Nari's like, "Yo, what's up?
I recognize you.
I know you." Ben's, it's like, no, I'm a a different dude.
I'm not that guy. I'm
I
Ben.
am not Obi Wan Kenobi. I'm
Ben
Ben,
Kenobi, his cousin. You've got me, but
I'm great value Obi Wan Kenobi. You want Obi Wan Kenobi? You have it at home.
And then he said, "Look, you got to leave. Get your lightsaber, put it in the desert, and just go be normal."
Which is a reference to a different movie, but
Right,
also Obi-Wan
right.
does it.
Right.
It's a reference to like how many times has that damn lightsaber been buried?
Twice.
And then, out of the fucking blue, I did not see this coming.
No. They did a good job in the trailers of making you look over here.
Right,
Yep,
right.
yep.
So I'm like, and next we go to Alderaan, and I'm like,
Which I kind of expected because I think Jimmy Smits was rumored.
well,
I haven't heard it.
I heard he was rumored, but like, there's a lot of rumors, and I just never put two and two together. And my biggest complaint about an Obi-Wan show, since the beginning of it, they're talking about the rumors of an Obi-Wan show, is like, first of all, I don't want to watch a show about an old man creeping on watching a little boy from afar, which we did get scenes of.
Yeah. Right.
But and I was like, there's no way that.
That you can keep him on Tatooine.
Right. Well, why is he going to leave Tatooine? Because his charge is, and then they're like, "Oh, Leia isn't Leia."
Yep.
Yeah, our theory was similar,
Yeah.
but not.
It was. Let's lead him away from
Right.
Luke.
Right.
Now,
Now
it's
we got to save Leia.
It was like, I'm all in
in.
this.
All
So
in.
they show.
They show Alderaan for the second time ever in live action.
Right, and it looks very much like a Federation
Yeah, we
planner.
were discussing
looks-
that. I was like,
I did.
It's
I got
very,
a
very
hint of Star Trek.
It's very Star Trek.
I was like,
Alderaan would definitely be a
even
Federation
the,
planet.
even the aliens that work for Flea are very looking like Star Trek.
They're very,
makeup.
they're very Star Trek aliens, which I'm okay with. Fine. But
But yeah, Flea is watching Leia as Leia.
well, before we get there, so there's a party or a reception that the Organa are hosting, and Leia's getting ready for it, and her mom shows up, and it turns out, nope, that's not Leia.
Yep.
And Leia's already out in the woods and she's running around and
Who else used decoys?
I wonder.
Crazy.
I wonder.
it's a thing.
Crazy.
And she has a little robot handheld play device called Lola, and I guess that's her only friend.
Which is getting a toy.
Yeah, that man. The moment I saw that, I was like,
What?
Yeah, it's
yeah.
a
That's
remote
shocking.
control app.
The
toy.
moment I saw it, I was like, Hasbro's making one. And the next day, it was like, Hasbro has one coming out, and I was like, I knew it. So all the little girls can. I don't care, but it's awesome. I'm
I'll get
all
one.
for all of it. I'm so Leia and Lola are in a tree. Lola's literally like a Walkman. She's like
She looks like a CD.
Yeah.
She looks like a CD player, right?
Yeah.
A little
But
handheld device.
it's like if your Walkman was also like a like your binoculars,
Right.
and your everything,
Right, it looks like a CD Walkman
Yeah.
that mixed with like those robots from Batteries Not Included.
It's exactly what I thought.
That's what it is.
But
It's-
we may be the only two people that have ever seen that movie.
right, which is a great movie.
It is.
and so
It's sad.
It's but like I was like
I don't want feelings about robots. Let me just.
But
It's a
but
good
almost,
aesthetic.
almost similar to Luke, Leia has this "I kind of don't want to be here" thing. 'Cause
Right.
She's watching ships leave, and she's
Yeah.
guessing what they are.
are, and it's kind of funny. And then
Yeah, the pirates. You got that pirate ship.
and then is it her
They could be pirates. Oh wait, I was right.
is it her mom who finds her?
Yes, it's Brea.
Yeah, Brea finds her and brings her back. It's like, hey, you got.
Why is Brea walking around like just willy nilly? She has a heart condition. That lady should be.
She must be having a good day.
Yeah.
Brea tells, gets her climbing down the tree, and Leia grumbles about it, but they have to do a grant. She's like, all I
Meanwhile,
do.
Flea is watching from a distance.
Yeah, Flea's watching from a distance.
What I got, I'm gonna get and steal your Leia.
And
Well, I was so happy when I saw Flea.
cause my first thought was, is that Flea?
Yeah.
And then I had to wait to the credit because I doubted
yeah.
myself until the credits.
Oh no, I was like, oh, Red Hot Chili Peppers is canon, but now so is Back to the
But
Future.
yeah, they drag her to the party, where we meet one of the worst cousins ever that has made the internet be like, oh, I'm glad Alderaan got destroyed because he might be there.
He might be there, yeah.
I
Not even.
absolutely loved that scene.
Yes.
Because that's
Because
the
she
first
has
time
we get
her mouth goes off.
Right.
And I was like,
That's
and that's
Leia.
when I told you out there, Carrie Fisher is up in heaven going, that's my bitch right there.
Yeah, because that's when you know that is Leia.
Yep.
And then of course Belle takes her aside and is like, "Look,
He's like, you can't do that.
Right.
he's the dad that's
The
like,
best line he has is like, just wait to like, he's working for you. It's all good.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't want to be a senator. It's like, no, you're going to have to be a senator.
like we all have responsibilities."
This is what we do.
Excuse me.
He's prepping her for rebellion.
Between that, though, we go back to Tatooine.
Yes.
And so,
And we get Groundhog Day.
Well, we also get a little bit of a hanging.
well, we get that before that. We get that in a minute, though,
Yeah.
because first, so we go back to the job, and he gets more meat, steals more meat,
Yep.
and then goes to feed his.
Oh yeah, and meets.
I like how he only steals the meat for his ride.
Right.
Oh yeah. So because he meets up with Owen.
Yeah.
Well, not meets up, but they run into each other at the market.
Oh,
throws that bag
Owen comes up to him and throws the bag of toys and like, look, I don't want you at my house.
Like,
And it's like the boy needs to be trained. It's like you trained your dad, his father, and like
which
the
that
burn.
with the ending of part 2 makes it even worse because they both think Anakin is dead.
Right.
At this point, that makes it worse.
Right.
Because before we could assume, oh, Obi-Wan thinks that he's Vader now. No, they think he died.
Yeah, no, I think he died in Mustafar. Yeah.
Yeah, they think Obi-Wan killed him.
So how much does?
So imagine how Owen's thinking of it of like, oh yeah, you failed to train Luke and then you kill him just like you killed his dad.
The one thing that I don't think we'll get, but I really want, is a flashback of the Episode 3 scene and when he gives them the baby. Because when does Obi-Wan go? All right, so we have to,
when does he explain what
right,
happened?
right. When does he explain? All right, so look, I trained his dad. It didn't work out. He's dead on a lava planet.
Right.
And I mean, there's got.
And how do you explain that?
Also, why do you tell him?
Yeah, because you should have just said, hey, his dad's dead. It didn't work out.
Right. The evil people may be looking for this kid. I'm going to train him when he's older.
I would have. Well, I don't think it was great that he lied to Luke about it. Tell Owen the lie that you told Luke in Episode 4.
Right. I don't understand why. And maybe
Although
that's
he didn't know Vader existed.
Right. But
Vader,
I'm not saying that. I'm looking at just as they are, Vader.
Because they're just farmers.
Right, and that Anakin is dead. And so that's what they're worried about. Like, Luke, you're going to get Luke killed. That's what he's worried about. Now, he's not worried about him turning into a crazy robot killer guy.
They're worried that you will fail to train him and he'll die.
So why does Obi-Wan tell him any of them about that?
But he also might think, oh, he's going to become evil, or because you failed to train him properly, and then you have to kill him like you did his dad.
So why does he tell him any of that?
Yeah.
Why does Obi-Wan say that? Why didn't Obi?
Why hasn't Obi-Wan heard the words Darth Vader in 10 years?
Because it hasn't been. Because Vader is not public knowledge.
Yeah, Vader's not been. Yeah, that's the biggest reveal in the last few years with Star Wars. I guess in the last 5 years ago.
Yeah.
That not
and within the
no
current
one really
canon,
knows about. Yeah, no one knows about
That's one
Vader.
of the biggest differences between Legends and canon.
Right.
Okay.
Legends, Vader was all over posters and everything. Canon, Vader is like top secret. Like everybody sees the Inquisitors on a day-to-day basis, but not Vader.
And so like it's rumors of Vader, and so it makes Vader scary when he shows up.
Okay.
He's literally the Emperor,
boogeyman.
Right, he's the boogeyman, but he's the Emperor's right-hand man, so you don't want to see him.
Right, but I'm just wondering, because if Obi-Wan hears any of these rumors, he's going to be like, then he should know Anakin's not dead.
Right, but
because he saw...
But he's also keeping a low profile on a desert planet.
No,
in the Outer
I
Rim.
get that. I'm just saying...
Where I don't think they get the biggest of news.
I also don't think there's a garrison.
But we see, Obi-Wan, if I recall correctly, saw the footage of Anakin leading the 501st in there as Lord Vader. So that's why...
Yeah.
No, he sees the he sees the
pre-
Rise Vader thing too,
Right.
which is
Yeah, but that's all so he knows his name is Vader, and that's why
Lord Vader.
later on it makes but
it's left the way he says it, Lord Vader.
but I mean, but going back into the Tatooine stuff, like we're on a Outer Rim world that's run by the Hutts, to the point that even the people are like, "Hey, you Inquisitors don't have the right to be here, because this is Jabba's territory."
How bad was it that every time they panned around, I was waiting to see a pike, and I was like, "No, that's not yet."
Yeah. So Owen and Luke, Owen and Obi want to have their words about, like, hey, don't hang around. We don't want you around the farm.
Right.
And Obi-Wan's like, hey, I need to train him, and he's like, no, you're not. You're just not. You're not going to train my boy. He's just not going to happen.
He's just going to be a farmer, and
He's going to be a farmer. That's all he's going to be. And then he goes out, and then the Inquisitors show up.
Specifically just 5th and 3rd.
Yeah, 5th and 3rd. And the 3rd, who I love her tactics. She's like, hey, look, I know you're hiding a Jedi. I'm killing this guy.
Yeah.
And his whole family, unless you tell me.
Yeah, because 5th brother's like, hey, we'll reward you if you give us information. 3rd sister's like, no, why are we doing that?
Yeah,
we're just
gonna
going to
kill
you if you don't tell us.
We'll pick random people until we get
We'll
someone.
cut off your limbs.
Right. And then, we'll cut off a limb.
And cuts off old lady's arm.
The old lady who's like, you have no right to be here, and cuts off her arm. I'm like, okay.
I think it was at her wrist.
just
I think
her
it was
hand.
just her
Rest.
hand.
And I was like, holy shit.
And that's the origin story for Thing.
Right. Just walks out.
But yeah, and then confronts Owen.
Owen.
Because of course she does.
Right.
Because we got to build that tension.
Of all the people in the crowd, Owen's the guy.
And I tell you why. I think she senses.
Yeah,
he's
she's
hiding
got
a secret.
Right. He's hiding a secret, but I think she's like, there's Luke. I think there's like the Force connection there. She feels.
Force smell?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because they got just done talking about it, so
you
Luke
smell
probably is on Owen's
my mind.
You smell forcey.
And Owen probably, I don't imagine Owen knows how to keep his above thoughts
Right.
hidden.
Yeah, because he's a farmer.
Yeah. So Reva's like, oh, I sense that you're hiding something.
Right.
I don't know what, but I know you're hiding something.
So of course they don't find the Jedi. The 5th brother pulls her off, and then
Good for her.
pulls her off. What do you?
I mean,
I don't know how you're taking that sexually, but
you've never heard that term?
no.
Okay. Then let's keep going.
yeah.
Sorry, I'm
Good night, everybody.
like pulls her away. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Damn.
There
She's
we go.
blessed.
He casually escorts her to an alleyway. Ooh! Right there in the backside. How
But
dare?
anyways, he takes her away from the crowd,
Ooh!
and it's like, hey, we can't be doing things this way.
Ooh!
And is like, if Grand Inquisitor was here, and Vader were here, we couldn't be doing stuff like this. And she's like, they're not here. So, God,
I've ruined it.
you're all fucking children.
We are fucking children. I mean, we're not fucking children.
Oh my God! Good night, everybody.
I'm so tired.
So, anyways, cut away after that, right?
Yeah, where are we at? I don't even know
Because
where.
that's after, like, so Fifth Brother confronts her and says, hey, you got to control yourself because this is all, you're doing things wrong. This isn't how we do things. And she's like, well, I'm
This is how I do something because I'm looking for Kenobi.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Forget this small fry. I want Kenobi. And he's like, well, too bad. We got the small fry.
Right.
And so they leave. Kenobi goes and thanks Owen for saving him, and he's like, I didn't do it for you.
And it's,
Bum, bum, bum.
and it's like, and so this is where things are interesting to me. It's like, if Owen doesn't want Kenobi to train Luke, why does he care if Owen got caught? I mean, if Obi got caught. Because that wouldn't get Luke caught.
I think that Owen
Luke
is inherently a good person.
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
too.
I think
do
that's
too.
all it was.
I do too, but like, and I think we give Owen too much crap in terms of like A New Hope. Owen is a good father figure.
Sure, he's just a grumpy ass farmer.
Yeah.
Like that's
He
what
did,
he is.
Right.
Because everybody's like, oh, Owen's
Y'all
terrible
met
for not
bu-
letting Luke go on his adventure. No, he's not.
Y'all-
Owen did everything to protect that child.
You know a farmer, and
Yep.
he a grumpy ass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice
Hey, Bubba.
people.
Love you, Bubba.
But yeah, like Owen is
He
a
has a
great
grumpy
father
ass.
figure. Like Owen and Baru are great parent figures.
Yeah.
Right.
They did everything to raise that boy
Sure.
correctly.
They didn't have to.
in some inhospitable,
Yeah.
not the worst on Tatooine,
And
but still.
honestly, it's good they didn't let him go to the academy because he was going to join the Empire.
And then we cut back to Alderaan where we've previously talked
Yeah.
about the party. This is when the party.
Isn't that
happened.
nice to be able to say that? Like, and now we go to all
Alderaan,
yeah.
because there's one to go to.
Yeah.
Where there's one to go to.
And
Uh,
we get the party with the bratty cousin. And,
We've talked about that, and then Bail talks to his daughter about, hey, you can't be jerky, and
But you are an Organa.
right? You're an Organa.
You are an
Everything- You're
what
we
names don't
matter. We love you. It's all good.
Hey, that's a.
And then he's like, you gotta apologize. She goes, I'm not. And so then she runs away.
She's
Which
like,
is-
or
which also that Organa talk. If anybody comes at a certain other character that took a last name, just remember this scene with Leia, and
Are you talking about Ray?
yeah.
But Ray, there's not adoption papers. Didn't we talk about this
But
yesterday?
the adoption papers for Leia are probably forged.
like where they got her from, maybe.
or OG name.
Right.
Yeah.
So little Leia goes running around in the woods, and then she gets kidnapped by Flea and his cronies.
Flea
Yeah.
and the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah,
And
Flea
they
and the
kill
Backstreet-
they kill some Alderaan palace guards. and
Right. And then we cut back to Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan gets a distress call from Bail, like, hey, look, they got my girl. You got to go save it. And he's like, I can't. I don't, A, do that stuff anymore. B,
Right.
I got to watch Luke. And Bail's like, no, you got to go help our daughter. And he's like, nope, I'm out. Sorry. Find someone. Get a bounty hunter or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he goes back to his meatpacking plant, does his job, and shows back up, and there's Bail waiting for him going, look, dude.
Well, and I guess also when he goes to the city to feed his EOP, we see that the hanging of Nari.
we see the dead Nari, yeah. Forgot about that.
Yeah,
Which obviously his
Which-
cause of death was not the hanging because he was not.
no,
he was
because
hanging by his
He
shoulders.
wasn't. Yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't that way
They-
of hanging. Yeah,
They probably lightsaber.
It was a
didn't
it was a display.
it looked like he got like cut.
He was displayed.
Yeah,
Um,
this was a warning.
Flayed and displayed.
So Bail comes in as real strong with Obi-Wan, like, hey, you got to go find my daughter. This is how,
The fact that man flew all the way
Well,
out
you're-
like the next day.
In a day.
right. You're gonna find my kid.
He made point like 1 past light speed. Like, damn.
He's a Federation planet. He took warp. Thank you. Ah, it burns. It burns. So reluctantly,
Crouched at the starting line.
Reluctantly, he gets his lightsabers out of the sand,
he goes.
which
gives
is
it-
buried with Anakin's lightsaber.
Yeah, him and Anakin's lightsaber. Obi-Wan's and Anakin's are buried together. He gets.
Which makes sense because he has to pull it out of the chest for
Right.
Luke in
Right.
6 years.
Did he get both of them, or did he get the one?
He just took. He
just took
I
his-
think he just took the.
He only has his on his hip.
Right.
Because they show us that. Yeah.
And then at the end of the episode, he gets on a transport to go find this planet where she's supposed to be at.
Right.
But the thing we see is we see the lightsaber on his hip, and then we get the credits. So my buddy Tony, shout out to Tony, texted me after he watched it. He goes, so I'm a Jedi trying to stay hidden from everybody.
Yep.
I'm trying to stay hidden from everybody. I'm doing a really good. But when I have to do a Jedi job, I dress exactly like a Jedi.
And also have my lightsaber
Saber with
revealed.
him. Yeah. So,
He forgot what he was. It's been 10 years. But have you noticed, like, especially in episode 2, where when he walks, he's got that "I'm about to dual walk."
Yep.
Right.
Like that's his
Well,
Obi-Wan
he's
walk.
also going to a criminal planet.
Right, but he's got
It's
that
basically-
predator walk.
yeah.
It's so
Because he basically goes to like the new Narshada.
right.
Narshada.
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 Narshada. That's
Narshada.
that's all I call Narshada.
So he goes to the new Narshada, which is Dayu.
Yeah,
the
Dayu.
the milk world, because we get all the milk signs and.
Yeah, it's interesting. Episode is pretty much directed and written by the same people. Most everybody is in it, and then we add Camille Nanjiani's in
Yep.
it.
Kumail Nanjiani. I love him.
I
He is so funny.
I
to me.
like Camille. My problem with Camille in this episode is that he's the only person I've seen. Flea was actually too. Flea was the same way. When I first saw them, it took me out.
Really?
Yeah, they took me out. Like Flea, I was like, is that Flea? And then because I wasn't sure.
Sorry, Sandstorm's playing and I'm just jamming.
Right. And so when I saw Flea, it took me out for a second because I asked who that is. That Flea, and then I went in because I wasn't sure. And then when I saw the Camille reveal, I was like, oh, Camille, and I just can't see him as anything else.
Right.
And so he's basically Camilleing in this. I mean, he's
Yeah.
you know, so.
And
Did you see the movie that he starred in where he's like he and his girlfriend are having date night and it becomes a caper?
No.
It is hilarious
Is it
and I
good?
recommend it.
I will check it out. Part 2. So Kenobi arrives on Dayu, and he's like, hey, I'm checking this ship, and they're like, yeah, they block that stuff here. People like their privacy.
Yeah.
So beat it.
But like also, obviously it's a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. But like if random dude came up to me in the store and was like, hey man, I'm hunting this car. You know anything about it? I'd be like, bitch, no, get out of here.
Right.
Yeah. 'Cause-
Like that's an odd thing.
Right.
Like I'm tracking this ship to the guy sweeping the street.
Yeah.
It's like, bitch, we don't do that. Go on.
So he starts looking around to see if he can find someone to talk to, and then you hear credits for a homeless veteran.
Yeah.
And-
It just says veteran
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
subtitles.
And so
And was that Tamar? Was
Yeah, that was
it's
Tamara.
Tamara Morrison as a clone with the beard,
A
and
homeless clone.
I was like, and also it's 501st armor, right?
Yep.
So it's 501st clone.
Oh, okay.
So he would have been thinking Rex if he was.
Right.
See, I was thinking, I thought Rex. Immediately thought Rex.
But I think Rex is somewhere else.
I think Rex is with Gregor and
He's
Wolf.
on that walking thing, right?
Yeah, I think by then
they're
they're
off on. They're living their like.
they're looking for sandworms
They're
and Ethan.
living the fishing
They're
life.
basically in Dune.
Right.
But my first thought was Rex.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
immediately because he,
Yeah.
man, it broke my heart too.
But yeah, they're always going fishing now.
And
so
so
he's good.
Ben's taken aback and he doesn't say anything and gives him some credits though in his helmet.
Which is probably the only person on that planet to ever do so.
Probably so.
Which that should have got some notice. I feel like I was worried about that because I was like, "Are you gonna do it?" Because I feel like that's gonna attract attention.
See, I more noticed after he did when he turns around to walk away. It was 2 stormtroopers that walked past. Like almost immediately, you go from a retired homeless clone to two current stormtroopers.
Yep. And then he runs into that glitter stem spice girl.
who I think is Ewan McGregor's daughter.
Is it?
Yeah, that's what I've seen on Twitter. I haven't confirmed it.
I will double check.
I think it's
Well, her character also has bad hair.
she does have bad hair.
It is his daughter.
Yeah, it's his daughter.
Good for her. Good for him.
Esther Rose.
Esther Rose. Yeah, that's what I thought. So she's like, hey,
Hey, Dad, you want some drugs?
you want some
'Cause
drugs?
It's like, I'm looking for my daughter, and she's
You're
like,
like-
well, your daughter's pretty much gone at
right,
this point.
right. It's like I was someone's daughter too. I'm like, oh, now knowing that's Ewan's daughter, I'm like,
That's a great scene now. I wonder if they had fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
So she's like, but instead, I got some spice for you to forget everything. You want some? I got some Kessel Pure, got some Glitter Stem, got some Felution.
yeah. Look at you, named them all. Look at you. Bam. All right. That
Forgot the real though. They need that real spice. That's where it gets.
See, I wish she offered him death sticks. Really, I was like,
Yeah.
he wants some death. I was hoping for death sticks, but that's just me.
Yeah.
He's looking for. So she's like, there's, I was someone's daughter, and she goes off to go sell more drugs somewhere else, and then some other street rat's like, hey, I know someone who can help you. There's a Jedi who helps people. And he's like, oh, really? Okay, cool.
And my thought to that was, and you're just going to say that out loud when 2 stormtroopers just walk by? Like, y'all are bad at this.
Which should have been a sign.
It was. It absolutely was. I was like, there's no way.
And so we meet Camille, who is a Jedi.
Haja Estri.
Yeah, Haja Estri, and he's helping a woman and her son try to get to
Somewhere
Corellia.
safe.
Corellia. I think that
They say
Yeah,
Corellia.
and I'm like, that's not really that
Well, it's just-
not safe.
I mean, there's a common theme on my Star Wars podcast that we would rather be on Tatooine than Corellia.
Corellia, right? So I was like,
Well, if you're on the left half of Corellia, you're fine. It's the right half. That's bad.
All of Corellia is bad. It's,
and,
Wedges from there. It can't
and
be
the
the
Jedi
worst.
uses the Force to, shut windows, and then he contacts a pilot on a spaceport and uses the Force to make so.
I am now using my mind
Mind
tricks.
tricks.
I am in your brain.
Right, it's the funniest damn shit.
yeah.
That was good.
And so, but she thinks, he makes the arrangements. She pays him a little,
Well,
So
a lot because it was
a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot.
But real quick, can I just say every beat in this first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan not doing what I would do
right,
proves he's a perfect Jedi.
yeah,
right.
No, absolutely.
Because I would have beat the shit out of somebody that was like that,
Was
and I would-
faking being a
right.
Jedi
No.
and-
Well, yeah, he would. I would have come out and been like, "Oh, really? This is a mind trick." Right? Like
I would
like,
have interrupted.
I'm like,
that.
I needed the training when I was a kid, obviously, to call myself a Jedi. Like, because in reality, it's like the situations he's being placed in, like I would have probably already had tried to save Owen.
to me, there
when
have
Owen,
been-
when Reva's out
Yeah.
there just
Well-
about to murder Owen, I'd have been like, guess what? Can't do anything because I have your lightsaber.
Yeah.
Right, but that's what they want.
and that's what they
Exactly.
want.
Right.
Which is why I like that he's doing what I wouldn't.
Right.
Because I
Because I
wouldn't.
I think honestly, I think Ben would have let Owen die.
Well, I think he's given up on being a Jedi at that point.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
because but I think he'd let Owen die right there.
But yeah,
I mean, what do you think?
no, I don't think.
You don't think so?
I think if Reva actually was about to kill him, like actually was like, all right, time to kill you, or time to kill Luke, because she was threatening Luke
Right.
as well.
I think he lets Owen die. He goes get Luke. I think that's how that plays out. I think he uses Owen as the shield so he can get Luke. Luke's important, not Owen.
which is what he does in episode 4.
yeah,
I'm just saying.
He goes
but
and
that's different because he
makes sure Luke is safe.
Safe.
Oh, sorry, Uncle Owen, Aunt Beru.
Yeah, but I don't think he does. I think if it comes down to it, I think he would save him just because somebody else has to watch Luke besides him.
Right.
And also he's in episode 4.
But I mean, but,
I'm just hypothetical.
yeah, yeah.
So
If-
moving on.
yeah.
Moving on because
We're on episode 3 or third hour of episode
2. We're
Yeah.
into. So Obi-Wan confronts Haja, and the thing I find most interesting about this first is that what's in his hand? A blaster.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I lost that. Like, he didn't say this is uncivilized.
Civilized.
Like, I lost that of the bingo. Like,
Right.
I didn't have that on. Like,
Right.
that didn't get marked off on my
But
page.
Right.
once again, that comes down to what I was saying earlier. He's given up.
Right. So he's using a blaster.
and it's very similar to the other only perfect example of a Jedi, Kanan, who also gave up during this time and also only used a gun. And so,
I mean, although, does he still have his little carving knife on him, or does he have to give that back at the end of shift? Because he always puts it in a sheath.
oh, he might keep that.
'Cause if he's got that, like,
I didn't think he brought it with him though.
I don't think he
No.
did because probably not allowed on public
Yeah.
transport or whatever.
Right.
Lightsaber's fine.
Yeah.
But well, at least till the end of the rebellion when Mando can't
Has to
carry
do it.
But no, I'd love to
Weapons
see him,
are my religion.
I'd love to see him have that like mini machete,
Right.
and like actually duel some. Obviously not a lightsaber user,
Right.
But like use his old form,
Right.
Yeah.
and just start going pure defense with a knife,
Right.
Oh, because we
But-
got a hint of it when he'd get in these brawls,
Right.
Yeah.
He did.
Like there's a hint he'd get his ass kicked, and he's like, "Oh wait, but my body knows what to do."
Right.
Yeah.
Do-do-do-do-do. And they're on the ground.
Right.
Yep. But so he asked Haja, "Hey, I know that you're supposedly a Jedi." After Haja's like, "Who are you?" He explains it. And,
Yes, I am a Jedi. I love the way he talks though. I
Yeah.
like his Jedi voice is
And
hilarious.
so he's like, all right, well, I'm looking for my daughter because he's keeping that story. And he's like,
Well, I can find your daughter. And
yeah,
like,
for a price.
And it's like, you got to bring her back. Oh, that's more.
500 to locate her, 300 to bring her back.
So
and
$800 for a kid.
Yeah.
But
And
it was
I've got
for the extra 2, there was something else.
if you want to see some other tricks, it'll be 1,000.
Yeah, I can teach you some Jedi stuff.
Yeah. And he's like, nah, I'm going to show you what being an actual Jedi means.
It's like so it's not the gadgets you have in your wrist and stuff. Which reminds me of like
That's some stuff that I've done in a lot of RPGs.
no, but it, like the first time I saw that was I want to say it's
But there's some stuff in other material where that's happened.
I want to say I first saw it in a Dark Horse comic. I don't know if it's
I know it's in the Jedi Prince novel.
but in the Dark Horse comic, I think it's Jodo Cast is hired to kill it's either Jodo Cast or Fett. And I can't remember which one of the two because they both look alike. Because Jodo Cast pretends to be Fett. That's the joke.
Yeah.
But he goes and fights the Sith Lord is taking over this village and is robbing this village, and then it turns out to be just a guy with magnets and repulsor stuff and stuff, and he beats the shit out of him. And I don't know if that's how Twin Engines of Destruction start or but that's
Jedi Prince, the whole in that novel, that young adult novel, the whole issue is that somebody's pretending to be Palpatine's offspring, and he's using magnets and other stuff, and like even faking lightning using technology. And so it's like, it's a long-standing Star Wars tradition to have people use technology to fake the Force.
Right.
I mean, and then of course we know that Mandalorians use technology to try to combat it in a similar way. But yeah, so he's like, nah, I know all your tricks. So what's really going on? And he's like,
hey, I think I know where your kid might be. And so we cut to the kid, who is annoying the shit out of Flea and his gang.
yeah. And she's also trying to sneak Lola.
Right. Well, she's like, my dad's gonna bring an army and everything, and then they put her in a closet, which made me think of UHF.
Yeah.
Stuck Kramer in the closet, and then she's using Lola to try to help out, and then Flea finds out and breaks Lola.
Rip Lola.
Yep.
F in the chat.
I think they'll fix her.
Yeah.
Because Hasbro made a toy, so
Right.
I doubt this is the last we'll see of Lola.
But yeah, and then about that.
Also, the third sister's on this planet sometime.
Yeah, because because this is all her plan. Because she hired. So the ending of part 1 reveals that she hired Flea.
Right, she hired Flea to kidnap the daughter to
draw Kenobi out.
To Kenobi out, so she's waiting on the planet.
Which means she knows other information that I'm trying to figure out how she knows.
I got a theory.
She just knows they were friendly.
Right.
I would assume it's because
they
she knows.
served to get, like,
I would assume she just knows that Bail Organa and Kenobi knew each other.
Well, you served my father in the Clone Wars.
Right.
I mean, that was Leia's line in A New Hope.
So to speed this up some, so Kenobi finds out where she's at, beats up a bunch of guys, sort of.
Yeah.
Because every time he punches a guy, he's like, ow! Because he forgot how much it hurts.
Right.
I love the fact that they really acknowledge the fact that he's way out of practice.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, like, as Third Sister's like, okay, I've got them. Grand Inquisitor and Fifth Brother show up, and some other sister,
which I don't recognize her species.
Fourth Sister, that's her name.
I don't recognize her species.
Isn't she like Adagala or
no?
Because she's the
she got the weird tails, but then not
that one. She's the I'm looking it up. It doesn't say for some reason in here.
They probably don't have it yet.
Yeah. Although she first appeared actually in Return to Vader's Castle, but it was an impersonation. And then she was also in the Star Wars encyclopedias that Europe gets that we don't get.
Oh.
So, so he finds Leia. And I wish he would have been like, you're a little short to be a princess. But
yeah.
Because it's very similar to that scene.
But yeah, Grand Inquisitor, Fifth Brother, and Fourth Sister show up and are like, hey, you're out of line. Grand Inquisitor's taking over this investigation.
Right.
Go home. And she's like, nope, I started this, so I'm going to spread the news to every bounty hunter.
So she pulls the Mando. What? You didn't Grief Karga does
that's
that?
that's the Grief Karga move.
maneuver. Obi-Wan gets captured with Leia before he escapes.
Yes.
And by Flea, who really beats him up pretty good.
Yeah.
And he's the one who's like, this chick's looking for you. And
Yeah.
so, and
he's like, I have no idea who this is.
Right.
Off the top of my head.
And then, luckily, the drug teenager.
Yeah, and luckily they're like, hey, we got the spice.
She gave him a free sample that he uses to escape. He breaks it and makes the dudes
Makes
high.
them all high, yeah.
And he escapes.
And then the next door is where Leia is.
Yeah, and then he goes
and
rescue
Leia
Leia.
kicks him in the shin, which is how the shin, right?
Yeah, she kicks him with the
Yeah,
shin.
which is like immediately like, yep, that's Leia.
He's like, I'm here to save you, and she's like, you? Where's the army? It's
Right.
just like, she automatically tooed. She's just
Like-
got.
Leia has a thing of being in like cell doors, the door opening, and then immediately giving attitude to the
Yep.
person that's supposedly rescuing
It's
her.
perfect.
So Kenobi's dragging Leia through the city trying to find a way out.
And she's like, "You're not a Jedi," like because they're having
Well, but
this-
even before that, like they buy her clothes, and she's like looking at gloves. She's like, "Fine, get the gloves, but we just whatever we're gonna get."
which is definitely a kid thing.
Oh,
Like you go shopping with a kid, and they're like, "Oh, I
like
want this."
she has no clue how much trouble she's like, how much peril there is. No clue.
She's just like, "I want to get this, and I want to get this." Definitely a kid move, and
Right.
it's like, no, we can't get all that. Fine, you can get the one thing
and
extra,
so the bounty, everybody who's a bounty hunter on this planet apparently is just like,
including my boy 4LOM.
is it 4LM in that?
Can't be, because he got jacked up.
No, this is before that.
I don't.
That's what I'm saying. He gets jacked up later in the episode.
Yeah, he gets shot.
He gets shot all to hell.
Oh yeah,
I thought
but it's the same model.
Yeah,
Sure,
he
sure,
looks
but
like,
I
he
don't
looks like
think
a
it's-
4LM.
I think there's only one 4LOM though. That's a bounty hunter, because he gets shot up all the time and
But
gets
it
fixed
doesn't-
by his buddy.
But they don't say his
Zuckus.
name or anything, and he
No,
does
no,
it. But and so I thought he was 4. First, I was like, "Oh, look,
Cause
4LOM, what's up?"
Because the thing about 4LOM is like he gets shot up all the time, and part of his backstory is that the people who built him try to keep him a secret because they don't want, because he's a protocol droid
Right.
that went rogue, and they don't want people knowing that, hey, our protocol droids could go rogue.
But Leia runs away from Obi-Wan, and then there's a chase on the ceilings,
Yeah.
of the roofs, not the ceilings.
That's cool.
I'd watch the shit out of that
I
too.
would.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't believe he's a Jedi, and
Yeah, because there's this whole, yeah.
and they're being chased by bounty hunters, and
to be fair, she's playing smart. She's like, you're a stranger. I don't know if I can trust you, and you're lying to me, so I'm going to run away from you.
Absolutely.
then she jumps and falls off a building, and Obi-Wan rescues her with the Force. So she's like, "Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I feel you."
I guess you're a Jedi.
And then
Which
Camille
it looks like he had a little bit of a block.
right.
Yeah, it
Like,
looked
he was
like,
like-
it looked like that took a lot out
Oh
of
my
him.
god, I've not ridden a bike in 10 years.
Right. It's the Grogu thing. Like
Yeah.
Grogu, like every time Grogu uses them, he gets sleepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Book of Boba Fett was the first time he used the Force without closing his eyes.
Right. So, Grogu, not Obi-Wan.
Yeah, correct.
And then he gets down the building really fast and goes rescue.
Really fast.
Like I was like,
I think he forced jumped
I figured
down.
he jumped too,
Yeah.
but it was like you didn't see it. I was like,
Yep.
it's really quick there. It's a really weird edit for me. Other than that, they have to escape on like a transport that doesn't have because everything's being locked down. You got the Empire's like you got to show ID, and so there's a transport without people that they're gonna
Yeah.
sneak aboard. Camille helps out, tells him where to go. He's like trying to make amends for all the, dumb stuff he does, and then Camille goes to throw down with the third sister, which was cool. And then she's like,
his quick redemption.
it's like I don't think she didn't kill him though.
No.
She's like, you're no Jedi, and just beats the shit out of him, and then goes after
Yeah.
Kenobi.
Yeah.
And then
It's like, you're not who I'm looking for. Get out of my way.
right. So Leia and Obi-Wan are on the getting ready on the transport. That's when he says.
They're like in the hangar.
The hangar. They're getting ready to get on the board of transport. That's where Obi-Wan's like, you remind me of two people.
Yeah, because throughout this whole thing, you can tell on his face, like whenever Leia is doing something, he's like, "Man, this is very much an Anakin thing."
Right.
Or the Anakin and Padme. This is definitely the child.
Yeah,
And so,
this is definitely theirs.
and so, and then the third sister shows up, and
It is like, hey, I know.
and so does
you're...
the is it the Grand Qu-
well,
was it-
she reveals the thing first.
does she?
Yes.
Yeah.
She reveals the thing first.
Oh, okay.
Because he's hiding, and she's like trying to draw him out, and she's like, "Hey, I know that Vader's still alive, and he wants to see you."
He wants to have a little chat.
And that's when, like, she would have caught him
Right.
in that moment if right after that Grand Inquisitor didn't show up.
Right, Grand Inquisitor shows up, and then she stabs the Grand
Because Grand
Inquisitor.
Inquisitor's like, do you know what you're doing? You've gone rogue. You can't be doing this. Vader would have, basically, without saying Vader will have our heads, he's like, Vader will have our heads.
And then Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
He gets Qui-Gon, which
I'll explain my
we'll
thoughts.
talk about that in just a
I'll explain my
second.
thoughts
We're
in
almost
just a
finished with
second.
this.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan. Oh, she also says that Vader's Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the big bomb.
Which is the big bomb. Like, I mean,
But I
Yeah.
wonder if she
Yeah,
has told
'cause-
the other Inquisitors.
yeah, so-
No, I don't think she's told anybody.
Because so she offers to bring him to Vader, and then she adds that Anakin is still alive, which connects the dots for Kenobi. Because I think he already knew, like,
Right.
once she said Vader, he knew, but then the Anakin thought
Skywalker.
that doubled it down for
And
him.
so he escapes with Leia on the transport.
because she's distracted with Grand Inquisitor.
Right,
Yeah.
she's Grand Inquisitor. And then he says, Anakin. And then very, very far away, a Mustafar.
Lord Vader wakes up
with-
from his back.
and back to tank, and it's like, holy credits. It's just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yep.
so,
So what do we want to? So do we want to go to the? Okay, so I looked up the LOM series protocol droid. It is a different one.
okay.
It is 1-JAC, so one Jack.
One Jack.
Uh,
Because he got jacked up.
yeah.
One time.
One time.
But do we want to talk about the Grand Inquisitor?
Yeah.
Okay. So when I first watched this, and I immediately messaged you about it because we were texting each other. throughout
Yeah,
the whole thing.
it's like midnight. We're watching this damn thing.
And we're texting each other, and I'm like, "Oh my God, did they just do that?"
Yeah, I was like, did they just, what the, I have questions.
Because as somebody who has read the Vader comics,
Right.
I've seen Grand Inquisitor has been the same person throughout the
Right.
entire time that Grand Inquisitor is Grand Inquisitor. There's one Grand Inquisitor.
Right.
It's the Utapauan who was a temple guard.
Right.
And then he died
And-
during Rebels.
And he was mad because he couldn't.
Because Jocasta Nu wouldn't let him look at the deep secrets.
Right. And so that's the reason why he's an Inquisitor.
Because he's a temple guard, and she's like, "Look, you can't be looking at the evil stuff that we hold. That's for grandmasters only."
It's like, but shut up, go. Fine. When evil happens, I'm going to be the head librarian.
Yeah. And then basically, as soon as before she's even dead, he's already reading secrets. Like
Like in the Vader comic, I love that because when you first see him in the Vader comic, he's reading.
he's like,
It's got a whole stack of stuff. He's so excited. He's so happy.
he's so happy.
He's so happy.
The one time Grand Inquisitor is ever happy.
Right.
And but initially I was like, they're not killing him, like, because at first I was like, so does this mean that Rupert Friend is not the Grand Inquisitor, and maybe they're gonna bring the other
Right.
But then I thought
Jason Isaac shows up in the next episode.
Like Jason Isaac
With a
shows
better
up,
head.
Like Jason Isaac shows up, and then they're like, so this is why they look different. But then I thought about it, and I was like, well, no, that doesn't fit the canon, so they can't do that. So now, upon time to reflect, I think they just did that to get him out of the way, so that way Reva could be the focus.
Sure.
And that's fair.
Because
Throw him in the back of the tank.
throw him in a back to tank for a few episodes, and then have him come near the end and maybe fight.
See, I think he's more devious. I think he'll do like a Maul thing and just use the dark side of the Force to keep himself alive.
Yeah, but I think
That's more of a Sith
yeah,
thing. to
but
me
I think he's
than
gonna
the
back to tank because Grand Inquisitor's kind of a punk.
Like Vader's gonna be like, I'm gonna spare Bacta for you. It's
Yeah.
all my Bacta. The Empire's Bacta is mine.
The Empire has plenty of Bacta though.
I love both of these episodes.
Yep.
I think they're great. I love it. It has definitely taken the bad taste of Book of Boba Fett out of my mouth. I have said that publicly. I love little Leia. She
Also,
is
there's a
great.
little there's a little high ground joke for Obi-Wan's wanted poster. He's wanted. It's when he's wanted. It shows wanted for high treason, not just regular treason. High treason.
treason on the high ground. I hate that the internet is being cruel to this little girl.
Me too.
Yeah.
But luckily she's a little girl, and hopefully
Same-
she doesn't have the internet.
And then of course they're already being cruel to Reva because
they were being cruel to Reva from the beginning.
even beforehand. But
It's like she's a black girl, and it's going to be a black girl. In fact, I tell you, we were at this con. You and me were at this con, and
oh my god.
there's a guy we ran into who was talking about it, and it was already. He had not seen it, but he's like, I don't think I'm going to watch it because I hear it's not even about Obi-Wan. It's about this other girl.
And and by then we'd already watched the first two episodes.
I was like, no, it's all him.
Like-
I don't know. I
like-
heard it's all about it. No, it's all about him.
Like she's a focus.
She's a character.
like she's a focus, but that's because she's the antagonist.
Right, she's the bad guy.
You don't ignore your antagonist.
Right. So
Yeah.
toxic fandom, man. Guys, grow up.
And I mean, even if she does change sides eventually, which I don't think she will, I think I think the best writing would be that she stays angry and gets in her own way, and then like Grand Inquisitor shows up and has to like cut her down.
Right. That's what I want. Bad head and all. So
I like Reva as a character. She's
I
a
do too.
great.
I
She's a great villain.
I like everybody say like again. Camille takes me out of it, but I like Camille.
Yeah,
Right.
like Camille. Camille is Camille.
Yeah, Camille's.
When those two popped in, the people we weren't expecting, the
Right,
cameos
yeah.
or whatever, like to me, it's less jarring.
Right.
It's a quick, nice. Let's keep going.
Right.
Right.
And that's how it was about Fleet.
Yeah.
Camille's a little different because I'm like, of course Camille's not going to be the Jedi. I like it was.
Which that was the rumor for a long time, is that Camille's going to be a Jedi, and to the point that people were like, "Oh, is he going to be Quinlan Voss or something
Right.
like that?" And it makes sense what they did with him. I would like to see Camille stretch his acting ability a little bit and maybe play a more serious role,
He is definitely,
because I think
in
he's got
that
the
date movie,
ability.
He's definitely more of the straight man to.
Yeah.
It's the woman. She's got an HBO show, comedian.
I know what you're talking about.
No, I know them.
Yeah,
But I think he's got the chops to potentially do something more serious.
But he's good in The Big Sick, and
That movie just crushed my heart.
right because it's a true. But it's good because he lived it. It's a true
Yeah.
story. So
Yeah.
he wasn't really acting. He's just
Right, right.
revisiting. So.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like I said again. It pulled me out of it, but it wasn't bad. It was just like, oh, it's Camille.
It was a good pull out.
right.
It was-
Like sometimes.
Good night, everybody.
I think that's a good place to end. We've
Cannot
talked.
take him anywhere.
We've talked nearly 2 hours about this.
Yeah.
For real.
But yeah, the
and
show.
then Caleb ruins it with a sexual innuendo at the end.
We're canceled.
I think the
We've been
main.
so
I
good.
think the main takeaway is that
I
the main takeaway is that the show is good.
I think we've been naughty.
Hello there.
the main takeaway is
Hello
that the show
there.
is good.
I think so too.
Look at Caleb trying to keep us on track.
I'm
Because
producing.
he's producing.
What is you trying to do?
He's trying to keep us on track. So we've had a ton of news, celebration news.
It's been a good week to be a Star Wars fan.
Absolutely, it has been a good week, and I'm so tired. And I haven't had one in a while. I am too.
And then we don't even have to wait a whole week for the next episode.
No.
It's Wednesday.
Right?
Is it Wednesday?
Yeah, it's Wednesday.
Yeah, because they're gonna keep the Wednesdays releases for Disney Plus for now.
So we'll do this again next Monday. This is Sky saying this is our contribution to the multiverse. Go out and make yours, and goodbye there.
I did not know you were going to say that.
I have spoken.